66 degrees and clear skies tonight for kickoff here on homecoming weekend. And we have Friday night football action between a young Southmont Mounties team and the #1 team for the class of 2A in the state of Indiana, your Western Boone Stars. Hello, I'm Kollin Brunes, your play-by-play announcer, alongside my good friend and color commentator, Nathaniel Finch. Tonight, we have Western Boone looking to defend their home turf and an undefeated record, coming into this one 6-0 on the season and still undefeated in conference play, which puts them in the driver's seat for the Sagamore Conference title.
If Western Boone can continue to play the way they've been all season, they will easily be in position to take home another conference championship under head coach Justin Pelley. This would be their second conference championship in 4 years, their last one coming in 2015 when WeBo won the conference outright for the first time since 1988. This 2015 team, led by Nathaniel and Logan Marsh, finished the regular season with only 2 losses, both coming from big-name schools Harrison and West Lafayette. That Stars team swept their conference opponents, which is exactly what the Stars have done so far this season. In 2015, WeBo star quarterback Spencer Wright led his junior high team to an undefeated record, which is what he and his team have done to this point in the season, with only 3 regular season games left.
And with 3 games left, the preparation for the state playoffs certainly intensifies. And as for Southmont, they don't have their very experienced senior class anymore that led them to a sectional championship. Unfortunately, they lost that game. They were a younger team this season after being led to the sectional championship by a very good group of seniors. But they do have good experience and leadership at the quarterback role. Senior Hunter Chadwick has taken over this football team and has kept them from taking a nosedive after their last senior class left. It has been a difficult road for Southmont, but they have another group of 15 seniors leading the way for the younger generation of Southmont Mounties. This matchup tonight will be a little bit more of a challenge for the Stars, as Southmont is considered one of the scrappier blue-collar teams in the conference.
Yeah, calling this Southmont defense, they like to run a lot of man coverage while mixing in cover 4 and cover 0. These corners are fast on the outside, but give away a lot of big plays because of their very aggressive style of play. Because of this, the Stars' offense will likely find more success in their deep passing attempt or consistent running game rather than their short passing game, in which they have actually found a lot of success so far this season.
And you're right, Nathaniel. And with the passing game, Southmont will have their hands full with the WeBo defense. This defense is the best in the conference and most likely the best in 2A, only giving up 26 points throughout the entire season through 6 games. We'll take a break here and be back with kickoff right here on WBTV Sports.
To survive a night at Indiana Fear Farm.
It was awesome.
Scary, very, very scary.
We traveled an hour and a half to come to it.
Come see what's new in our spectacular haunted hayride stunt show and scream your way through our blood-curdling slaughter bar.
Don't touch me! It was so cool! I peed my pants.
It was fantastic.
I had fun. The worst part was that when you had
If you want fear, if you want fun, get it all for one low price at Indiana Fear Farm. Opening weekend, September 28th, 29th, and 30th. Go to IndianaFearFarm.com now for instant coupon. Indiana Fear Farm in Jamestown. Come out here for farm fresh fear.
oh my God, scary.
IndianaFearFarm.com.
Are you hungry? Bob's Concessions sells food such as Polish and Italian sausage, tenderloins, hamburgers, hot dogs, fries, and more. You can find Bob Campbell and his delicious food truck at events such as fairs, carnivals, and festivals. For more information, call 317-850-6491.
Have you ever wondered if you could drive a school bus? Wouldn't it be nice to work when your kids are in school?
Western Boone is currently accepting applications, allowing us to train you one-on-one for this exciting opportunity. For more information, visit our website at weboschools.org/employment for this exciting opportunity.
Come on, take the wheel. Join a great team in a rewarding job.
Welcome back here to Western Boone High School. We're going to take a moment and stand aside as they introduce the lineups for both teams, as the teams will come out onto the field, and then we will be ready for the national anthem. So about 10 minutes left to go here. We're going to take a short break and listen in, and the national anthem is coming on right now.
For the singing of our star-spangled banner, Miss A.J. Persley directing the choir. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
And welcome back here to Western Boone High School. We're going to give you the season rundown real quick over both teams. For Southmont football, their overall record coming to this one, 3-3 and 3-1 in the conference. They lost a tough one at Fountain Central to start off the season. The final there was 13-7. Then in week 2, they were defeated by North Putnam in another close game, 48-42. Week 3 was a bounce-back week for the Mounties as they hosted their county rivals, the North Montgomery Chargers. The Mounties shut out the Chargers and cruised their way to a 28-0 win. That win capped off a 3-game winning streak against Frankfort and Crawfordsville. But last week was a tough loss to last year's conference champions and semi-state appearance Danville Warriors. Plainfield quarterback transfer and Division I prospect Ben Slayton led the Warriors to a 40-26 win with 4 total touchdowns. And looking at Webo coming into this matchup, they're undefeated so far with a record of 6-0 and 4-0 in conference play. Strong senior and junior class combined. They're coming off a sectional championship. That's their first one since 2001. Started red hot out of the gate, winning their last 6 games by a combined score of 269-26. They have shut out 4 different conference opponents. They scored 50 points in the opening game against Sheridan and legendary head coach Bud Wright, who is Indiana's all-time winningest high school head coach, including 9 state championships for Sheridan. His son, Kevin Wright, also coaches high school powerhouse IMG Academy, and the Wright family is featured on Sunday Night Football a few years back. And then in week 2, they took on the 5A Lafayette Harrison Raiders. With the series tied at 2 games apiece between both teams, the Stars shut out the Raiders to take the series lead 3-2 with a 26-0 win. Then in week 3, the Stars continued their dominance against Crawfordsville, holding the Athenians scoreless and scoring 69 points in the progress, barely missing the all-time scoring record in a game. The record for most points in a Webo football game is 71. Week 4 was a very tough one for Western Boone as they traveled to Lisden to take on the Tri-West Bruins on a very muddy and rainy Friday. The Stars only attempted 5 passes and capped it off with a win by a final score of 7-0. Then in week 5 took on North Montgomery for yet another dominating performance on offense combined with stellar defense. Webo won the game 60-14. And as you can see on the field right now, we have a line of people getting ready to introduce their Webo football team. And Nathaniel, this football team that Western Boone has put together this year is very tough. I mean, they're coming off they had a conference championship win in 2015. That we all thought that senior class was destined for great things to move on to a state championship. But unfortunately, that was thwarted by 3A West Lafayette for 2 years straight before Western Boone could move it down into 2A. And I personally know the West Lafayette head coach. Great guy, Kelly Kitchell, also the sideline reporter for Purdue football. So shout out to him for also getting me into the Purdue football broadcast to be able to job shadow. And Kitchell, I appreciate you if you're listening to this. Probably not, but if you are, congratulations, and also congratulations on all your team's success. Right now the banner is up here at Witham Health Field. Still no sign of any teams yet, with about 4 minutes and 20 seconds left to go until the opening kickoff. And Nathaniel, tell me a little bit about quarterback Hunter Chadwick in his last week.
Well, last week he tossed 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions, piled up 200 yards in the 40-26 loss. They controlled the time of possession with 30 minutes on offense as Chadwick led his team out there.
And another player to watch out for Southmont is Cameron Giles. He ran for 69 yards on 12 carries and also had 2 touchdowns in the loss to Ben Slayton and the Danville Warriors. The Warriors put together a very good football team last season, undefeated record all the way to the semi-state tournament. And their offense averaged over 40 points per game last season. And then when Western Boone came in and played them, they held their offense to just 14 points and ended up losing by a score of 8. So unfortunately, Webo wasn't able to get it done, but that just shows you the defensive tradition that defensive coordinator Travis Brunes has put together here at Webo. And Nathaniel, tell me a little bit about this Webo on the defensive side of the ball.
This defense for Western Boone, they have seemingly everything you want. They've got lightning quick guys. They've got great coverage corners, great linebackers. They've got guys who know how to get to the ball. And this defense, as I said, they have a lot of speed as a whole. It's the fastest defense that Western Boone has put together in a while. And the defensive line has a lot of undersized players who are still able to perform, get into the backfield, and get some stops and sacks. The linebackers are able to fly to the ball and eat up tackles, provide great coverage underneath in the passing game. And the secondary, as I mentioned, is quick and very good in coverage. The only weakness that this team has on defense would be the deep pass coverage because they've got a couple young, undersized corners. I know they've got starting is number 33, Cortez Stoudemire. He's a junior, and then across from him is number 8. The only sophomore starting on the team is number 8 for Western Boone. As number 8 is Luke Marsh. As I mentioned, he's the only sophomore, only underclassman starting for this whole team for Western Boone.
And right now, Southmont just took their sideline of the field, and the Webo football team is gathering around the goalposts there. You see right there. They always do this before the pregame. It's their pregame huddle, pregame speech to get fired up. And then before they run through the banner, try to get all fired up before they take the sideline here in front of this homecoming crowd. Large crowd here tonight on homecoming night. That just shows you the Webo Strong, the fans coming out to support their football team tonight. It's definitely going to be a good matchup, and it's going to be a very good football game, Nathaniel.
Yeah, and as I was kind of mentioning earlier, these outside backers for Western Boone, they're a real good highlight for this team as they're able to be used in coverage and as great pass rush. This team's able to pile up sacks every game. And they can also, as I mentioned, drop back into coverage and cover up the flats, be able to shut the other offense down.
And here come the Stars here, ready to go with a minute left until the opening kickoff. Everybody is ready. The field clears. The band is still out there playing. Southmont is ready to go. The captains will come out to the middle of the field and decide the coin toss. We're going to take a short break here. We'll be back with more here on WBTV Sports.
First Children is a local nonprofit that works to provide much-needed help to orphaned, abandoned, and impoverished children. Their mission is to support these children through financial contributions, donations of various supplies, prayer commitments, mission trips, and much more. For more information or to make a donation, please visit hopeforhischildren.org or contact founder Michelle Timmons at 317-989-2406.
Tuesday, October 9th, join the Philanthropic Educational Organization for a night of fun and fundraising. From 6 to 9 p.m. at the Stone Creek Lodge in Cartersville, PEO will be hosting their inaugural beer and wine event featuring products from local vendors. There will also be a silent auction. All proceeds will go towards providing educational opportunities for women. For ticket information, check out the event section on our Facebook page, facebook.com/peo.ec, or call 765-230-7233.
And welcome back here to Western Boone High School. The coin toss has been decided. We'll see here in a moment who will come out on offense, who will come out on defense. If the Western Boone offense comes out on the field, the Southmont defense might be in a little bit of trouble. They have a very good young quarterback, junior quarterback, Spencer Wright, and a very good running back. The transfer from Lebanon High School, the rival of Western Boone, Cruz Washington, older brother Jalen Washington, who is now at Marion University as a running back. He had multiple Division I offers to go to larger schools, but he decided to go to Marion so he could get more playing time, get a starting job, and now he's had a very successful career. And right now the kick team is out here now for Southmont. Number 11, Ryan Stanley, has it ready to go. He raises his arm, and he squibs this one right up the middle, and it's caught immediately at the front line. That's taken by Connor Hull, number 24, the safety for the Stars defense, and that sets up good field position for the offense of Western Boone. We're going to get a look at some of the Western Boone starters. Here in just a moment, we got right here. Obviously, number 7, Spencer Wright, the quarterback. Number 36, Cruz Washington in the backfield for him. Lucas Kernodal, the tight end, and Noah McClendon, the big wide receiver out to the far side and the near side. Logan Benson is also out there, also a large receiver. Both Noah McClendon and Logan Benson are over 6 foot, so these Southmont defenders will have a hard time handling these receivers and also the speed of Washington. Right here, pistol formation for Spencer Wright. He's looking to pass. Flat foot fires, and it's complete. Across the 50-yard line. It's caught by Noah McClendon.
Tackled by number 19, Jake Whitecotton.
And right there, good defensive play by the Southmont. They are very good at covering up the short game. Right there, they give up about 6 yards on the play. That's going to set up a second down. And they go right back to the huddle. Right here. With the give, and the ball's fumbled, but Wright was able to pick it up. It's like a designed option play, but Spencer Wright was able to pick it up. He couldn't quite get it in the breadbasket of Washington, and it results in a fumble.
But it was all right because he was able to get back on it, so we'll get another chance here on third down.
So 3rd down and 4. Ball's on the 48-yard line of Southmont. They go pistol formation, receiver in motion. That's Kernodal. And right here, the ball is tipped in the air, and it is incomplete. Intended for 21, Joe Hendricks, and that's a quick 3 and out for the Webo offense.
Great job by Southmont's defense, able to force this 3 and out against this nice, prolific offense for Western Boone. Bring Southmont's offense back on the field.
This is definitely a tough offense to handle with Wright in the backfield along with Washington. But right there, Southmont catches a good break. And it looks like punt formation here. Back to punt is the safety, number 18, Peyton Young.
Bushong set to receive the kick.
And right here, it's a rugby punt. Held it for a long time. This one trails towards the sideline and it flies out of bounds at the 25, probably the 24-yard line. Good rugby kick from Peyton Young, and the offense of Southmont will take over 1st and 10.
You gotta just use your own discretion as to which one you want to play. It doesn't matter.
Now we'll get a look at Hunter Chadwick, the quarterback. And looking at some of his numbers here, Chadwick has been a very good quarterback so far. Senior quarterback with 8 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. 53 of 85 for 786 yards. He's been starting ever since his junior and sophomore and junior year. Right here in pistol formation. He's going to throw it down the sideline. This one is tipped. Oh, it's incomplete. It was nearly intercepted by Andrew McAtee, the transfer from Manchester High School. Got his hands on the football, and it looked like it was going to be an interception, but the Southmont receiver had to play a little bit of DB.
McAtee there, he's the outside backer. And as I was talking about, they like to kick these backers into coverage as well as use them for pass rush. That was just one example that they sent McAtee out to cover the play. He did a nice job there, almost came down with a pick.
And right there, Hunter Chadwick came away with a big break. That would have been his 5th interception of the season. McAtee, unfortunately, wasn't able to come away with a pick. And this defense likes to use a lot of schemes here. They like a lot of design runs. Right here, there's a keeper by Chadwick. He gets to the outside, and he's finally brought down by number 5, Patrick Schallenberger of the Stars defense. Chadwick there, though, with a good gain on 2nd down.
That was a nice stop by Schallenberger. They also had number 33, Cortez Stoudemire, in on the play. Some good gang tackling from this Western Boone defense, who likes to rally towards the ball, get there quick, and knock him down.
It sets up 3rd and short. About 3rd and a yard to go. Right here, Chadwick goes under center. Giles in his backfield.
Some confusion. There's 9 seconds left on the play clock.
They got 6 seconds now. 10 minutes left in the first quarter. They give it to Giles up the middle. He gets out past the 40.
Tackle number 2, Devin Weekly. He's been a tackling machine for this Western Boone defense. has been able to make stops time and time again throughout the whole season, been a leader for this team. He also led the team in tackles last year.
Add another total to Weekly's tackle. He now has 35 tackles. The 35 solo tackles, that is, on the season. He's got 12 tackles for loss also. He's got 54 total tackles. That leads the team. Right here, the defense getting a call on Chadwick in the pistol formation. Oh, and a defensive lineman jumped for the Stars. And that looks like number 50, Michael Rice. And actually, no, that is not Michael Rice. That is number 51. Michael Rice is number 50. That's Caleb Freeman. The start nose tackle. He buzzed just a little bit. And that's going to set up a 1st and 5. So the Mounties already getting advantage of this Western Boone defense. Like we talked about, they're a scrappy bunch, Nathaniel.
Yeah, and also for this Western Boone team as a whole, they've been getting called for penalties all year long. It's been a big weakness of this team. They've been drive killers, touchdown snatchers, just everything, a whole bunch. And it's been really killing this team, although they're still 6-0, so it only goes
right
so
here,
far.
Chadwick pumps once, and he fires down the sideline. Stoudemeier's out there, and it's incomplete on the coverage. Good coverage by Stoudemeyer trying to go for it, broken up. Number 3, Tyson Bushong was the intended receiver. Bushong, he's a very good receiver for this team. Looking at him, Bushong, 11 receptions for 150 yards, and he has 1 touchdown on the season. His longest reception, 53 yards. Averages about 25 yards a game. Right there, Cortez Stoudemeyer, good coverage by him on the deep pass. And we talked to some of the players before the game. They said the Western Boone defense all around is a great set. Right here, Giles up the middle. And right there, Devin Weekly in on the stop immediately. Good tackle by Devin Weekly right at the line of scrimmage. There's a short gain on the play, brings up 3rd down.
Yeah, it is a great job. Weekly's been a leader for this team, and he's just been able, it's impressive seeing how many tackles he gets his nose into.
And what we were talking about earlier, I talked about this Western Boone defense. I talked to some of the guys, and they said they feel like they have a great set all around. They have a great core. The linebackers are solid. They eat up tackles. They get to the ball fast. But the secondary has some issues covering deep. And right here, it's an option play, and the keeper by Chadwick on 3rd down, and he keeps fighting his way forward. Number 75, Dietz Holdorf, in there to try to make the stop. The first-year player. Western Boone does pick up a 1st down, the run from Chadwick. So right now, this offense for Southmont slowly but surely moving down the field.
Yeah, there on the tackle is number 50, Michael Rice. As him and a whole slew of Western Boone defenders weren't able to get to him just soon enough. He gets about half a yard for a 1st down, half a yard past the 1st down.
It'll be a 1st and 10 from the 47-yard line. Still in the first quarter, 8 minutes and 28 seconds to go. Still no score here. Giles is the fullback here. He gets the handoff up the middle, and gang tackling here by the Western Boone defense. Great job by, once again, Devin Weekly to eat up the tackle. And also number 24, Connor Hull, coming down from his safety position to make the tackle as well, along with Weekly. It's going to be no gain, short gain on play, gain of about 2 yards. It'll bring up 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, last week against Frankfort, this Western Boone defense was able to hold the team to only 4 yards rushing. That's just unheard of.
It's very impressive, especially for this defensive front. And Travis Brunes, the defensive coordinator, is definitely happy with the way his core is played. And right here, they're stacking the box, expecting the run. Giles gets the handoff. And once again, a big carry by Cameron Giles to get up the middle. Right now, the Southmont offense is just attacking the heart of this Western Boone defense, going right at the linebackers, where it's supposed to be their strongest suit.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty crazy how this team, they've been getting tackles, but they're able to get a lot of big chunk yardage in Western Boone. If they want to keep this game low scoring on defense, they better pick up the pace.
Well, most of the offensive line for Southmont is seniors, and they're a very big bunch, able to get some good blocking up front. And like we talked about, it's very good that they're able to move these defenders. Right now, Western Boone getting penetration up front, but Giles once again with the carry. He gets out to the far side, tackled down by Connor Hull and Devin Weekly again. Both guys right here now doing work for this defense, but so far they haven't been able to stop the rushing attack of Giles.
Yeah, Giles all season has been really productive on the ground.
Cameron Giles is the leading rusher on the team. He has 98 carries. He's above the century mark in carries now in this game. 685 yards and 8 touchdowns for him. Right here, Chadwick resets the offense. He's going to bring a receiver in. Comes out from the far side. There's nobody out there. Bunch setting. It's a toss play to the outside. And running to the outside is Weininger. Weininger is finally slung down by number 23, Andrew McAtee of the Stars defense. Good tackling by McAtee to get there. The outside linebacker stopping the run. And that's one thing Travis Brunes really preaches about his linebackers. He wants them to stop the run first. Get out there, keep the outside shoulder free. Be able to put runners back on their butt, not let them get any yards.
Yeah, and you did see a couple of backers get penetration on the line. They were in the backfield as soon as the ball was snapped, just weren't back there. Since it was a toss, then they didn't get back there and get the tackle.
And right here, Chadwick is dropping back to pass, and he's brought down, and the ball is fumbled. And the ball's free, scooped up by Dietz Holdorf. Down the sideline, Dietz Holdorf is going to score. Touchdown, Western Boone. Number 75, Dietz Holdorf with the fumble recovery. Boy, the Southmont offense was marching down the field, and right there, just a bad snap. And unfortunately, Hunter Chadwick cocks it up, and that's going to result in 6 for the Stars defense. And once again, the Western Boone defense not allowing anything over 26 points throughout the whole length of the season.
That kind of looks similar to how this defense started last week against Frankfort. Frankfort was able to move the ball on the ground and a little bit through some short passing, but they had their offense 4th and goal at the 1-yard line.
And a sideline warning was just issued to Western Boone, but the touchdown will stand. That's not going to take anything away. And right here, number 34, Elliott Young, the younger brother of Peyton Young, out here to kick the PAT.
As I mentioned, this Frankfort team was on Western Boone's 1-yard line, right at the goal line. And Coach Spelly called a timeout, a crucial timeout in the game, as Western Boone was able to come out, get the stop, and then their offense just went from there, scoring 57 unanswered points.
Well, great defense here from Western Boone to start it off. Talked about this defense having a lot of speed, and right there, Dietz Holdorf showed it off. Western Boone takes the lead 7-0. We'll be right back here in a little bit after a word from some of our sponsors. You're listening to high school football on WBTV Sports.
Have you ever wondered if you could drive a school bus? Wouldn't it be nice to work when your kids are in school?
Western Boone is currently accepting applications, allowing us to train you one-on-one for this exciting opportunity. For more information, visit our website at weboschools.org/employment for this exciting opportunity.
Come on, take the wheel. Join a great team in a rewarding job.
And welcome back to Western Boone High School. The Stars defense already showing off here early. The touchdown by Dietz Holdorf, the first-year starter. He hasn't played any varsity football throughout his entire career. This is actually his first year of playing football here at Western Boone. He played a little bit back in his younger days, and right there, the return man for Southmont slung down after a good run on the play. That's 24. 24, Dylan Loy. And right there, a 10-play drive results in 6 going the other way for Western Boone.
As you mentioned, Holdorf is his first year playing varsity football, and he kind of just decided to up and try it, and he ended up being a huge impact player for this defensive front, as he's been able to get a lot of sacks on the season, a lot of tackles for loss, some penetration, and as you just saw, that defensive touchdown.
This is the second most sacks on the team. And right here, Giles again with the heavy running. Tackled down by 24, Connor Hull. Giles, nevertheless, gains about 8 yards on the play. It's going to set up a 2nd down and 2.
Giles had some early contact on that play at the defensive front, and he got tripped up, lunged forward, and that's when 24 Hull was able to stop him.
Right here, this defense. Defense is a great bunch. They've been out on the field twice already, but getting that score really helps. Really helps out the offense. Maybe it'll get the offense going after going 3 and out the last time. And if you're Southmont, don't let this strip sack get to you. You're going to have to keep it going. And right there, Giles once again with the carry, and he topples over a few defenders. He goes down, but not before he picks up a first down for the Mounties.
If you couldn't tell by now, this offense runs through Giles, and literally he's able to get carry after carry, and he's been able to rack up rushing yards throughout the whole season. He's the strength of their offense.
And, well, Dietz Holdorf, going back to the touchdown, Dietz Holdorf has 8 tackles for loss and 24 total tackles on the season. He's a first-year defensive lineman. He's a senior. And he also has the second most sacks on the team with 2.5. And right there, strip sack, fumble return for a touchdown. That's going to look good on his resume, especially as a first-year starter. Pistol formation right here. Chadwick fires a short one, thrown complete. That's caught by Logan Smith, the receiver. Picks up a first down for Southmont yet again.
Stopped by Wethington and Young on that play. These two guys were able to get in and get the stop, but not after he gained a first down.
Right here, this defense having trouble slowing down the run game. They were very lucky to get that strip sack. They got good penetration up front on the passing game. If they could just at least try to get penetration on the run game and move the offensive line of Southmont before their offensive line moves the defensive line of Western Boone, they could really make a good stop here and take Giles out of the game. That's
quick scoring update. Danville is ahead on Frankfort 14-0, and Tri-West is leading North Montgomery 3-0.
Right here, Giles again with a carry. He's finally slowing down. All over him right there was 32. Looking at who number 32 that is Josh Benson. Josh Benson leads the team in sacks as an outside linebacker. He has 3.
This defensive front, they have a nice rotation going on as they're able to get a lot of guys into the backfield for sacks.
Right here, 2nd and 4 with the ball on the 49-yard lines. Go back with the heavy set toss play outside to Weiniger. Weiniger stiff arms a man and he gets out of bounds. He's finally brought down by Devin Weekly, the middle linebacker, making tackles out here early. He averages 9 tackles per game, and he's the leading tackler on the team. He also has a lot of heart. He's a great player. He's definitely the heartbeat of this defense.
Yeah, and standing at 5'7", he's one of the smallest guys starting for this varsity team, and he's got the biggest heart, as you mentioned.
Him and Brett Wethington combined for one of the best tackling duos in the Sagamore Conference. Both Brett Wethington and Devin Weekly lead each other in tackles. They keep each other competing to fight for those tackles. Right there. And right there, Chadwick keeps it for a first down run. And on the tackle was Michael Rice and also Max Johnson. The middle linebackers got in there as well, Brett Wethington and Devin Weekly. 2:36 to go here in the first quarter. 7-0 score off a scooping score from Dietz Holdorf. Right here, Southmont getting back into familiar territory. Right here, handoff to Giles up the middle. He's met by Weekly and a few other Stars defenders, Max Johnson and Michael Rice, and then there on the tackle. And Cortez Stoudemire comes in from his corner position to lay the hit.
North Montgomery just scored. The kick was no good, however, so the score is now North Montgomery's favor 6-3 against Tri-West.
A good game going on around Montgomery County. Right here, this defense still on the field. They're going to look tired, but this is one of the most athletic defenses there is in the conference. They also get a lot of size up front. They also can trade off for a lot of speed. Right here, Chadwick is going to throw. He's rolling. He fires. It's caught for a first down. Complete. Right as he catches it in on the tackle, Luke Marsh. Good tackling there by Marsh.
It was a nice hard hit by Marsh there. He came out of nowhere and brought the guy to the ground. Of course, it came after a first down was gained.
And right here, Travis Brunes for the Stars is going to take a timeout. Not pleased with the way his defense has performed here so far, even though They just scored a touchdown. We're going to take a timeout as well, though. Thanks for listening to Webo Football here on WBTV Sports.
Moving into the season with JL Woodscapes. This woodworking/landscaping company is looking to improve your outdoor living space with products such as pergolas, decks, arbors, pavilions, and more. JL Woodscapes is a top-rated elite service on Home Advisor. You can go to the website, jlwoodscapes.com, or contact owner Chris Sides at sides.chris@jlwoodscapes.com. Chris can also be reached on his cell phone at 317-217-9360. Hope for His Children is a local nonprofit that works to provide much-needed help to orphaned, abandoned, and impoverished children. Their mission is to support these children through financial contributions, donations of various supplies, prayer commitments, mission trips, and much more. For more information or to make a donation, please visit hopeforhischildren.org or contact founder Michelle Timmons at 317-989-2406.
Welcome back here to Western Boone High School. Right there, the stop by Brett Wethington on Cameron Giles in the backfield. That's a loss of 2 on the play.
Man, Wethington was able to get in the backfield quick and bring that guy down for a loss of 1.
Giles has been a heavy runner all night. Right there, finally something works after the timeout from Travis Brunes, the defensive coordinator, not happy with the way that his defense has fared against the run of Southmont. Southmont's been able to chunk away yards. And they got into this territory last time, which resulted in a fumble return for the touchdown. But right now their rushing attack has gotten everything going for them on offense. And right here, once again, they hand it off to Giles. Giles is met immediately by that big defense in front of Western Boone. And he's still going. And he was finally brought down by Connor Hull, finished off by Devin Weekly. And that's good play by Weekly. Holdorf and Freeman will come out of the game for the Stars. It'll be 3rd and 9, 30 seconds to go in the first quarter, 7-0 score, Western Boone on top.
There were a lot of guys in for the Stars defense and a lot of tackles. They were able to rack up a lot of people to the ball. Good sign for this defense.
There they go, full house set. Giles is in the backfield, man in motion. They hand it off to Weiniger. Weiniger is the outside, stiff arms the defender, and he's brought down at the knees by Cortez Stoudemire. Big run from Seth Weiniger. It's not enough for a first down. It's going to be 4th down, but good run by him, and they're going to take another short break. We're going to keep it here with us, though.
Yeah, they're on that play.
That's the end of the first quarter. 7-0 score, Western Boone on top. And we'd also like to give a big shout-out to Smith's Show Pigs. Thank you for sponsoring Webo Football broadcast here on WBTV Sports. We appreciate all the support we can get. Also, shout-out to the Plunkett family for helping us and supporting us in our Webo Football broadcast. Once again, thank you for being a very courteous contributor to Webo Football.
As I was starting to say earlier, Weiniger, that's his second sweep to the left side, to the near side as we're on. And it was about the same result as last play, as he would get stopped before a gain of very many. This will bring up 4th down for Southmont's offense.
We're going to flip field position here. It's fresh 12 minutes on the clock. It's 4th down and about 3 to go for the Southmont offense, and likely probably going to give it to Giles here. What do you say, Nathaniel? What do you think the Western Boone defense needs to do here to stop the run game?
Well, as you mentioned, they only need a few yards for a first down. It'd be pretty predictable for them to go right up the middle with Giles. And if so, this linebacker core for Western Boone is going to need to hurry to the ball and get a quick stop, which they haven't been able to do a whole lot. They've been hurrying to the ball, but they haven't been able to get a stop before Giles has turned out yards.
And also a scoring update. Lebanon 13 in scoring position. Crawfordsville right here, the keeper, and Hunter Chadwick gets across the first down marker. That's going to set up a first down for the Mounties. Good run by Hunter Chadwick on the keeper. Oh, right there, a tough break for the Stars defense, not able to rally to the ball on that play. It was good blocking up front, though, by the Southmont offensive line. They've had really good blocking all night. Right here in scoring territory at the 15 or 16-yard line. It's a first down inside the red zone. Threatening to score. Here's Southmont ready to go. 6 seconds on the play clock. Hand off to Giles up the middle. He's stuffed at the line of scrimmage, and then he's finished off by the rest of the Western Boone defense. Good rally to the ball there by the defense of the Stars, and that's the familiar sight we've seen all season.
Yeah, you had 4 to 5 guys get in there on the tackle. You couldn't even tell who made the tackle because there was so much blue in on the tackle. Great play by this defense. We can expect this to keep going.
This defensive front is very good for Western Boone. Usually like to go 3 down linemen and either bring down an outside linebacker or keep one in coverage, or they could just blitz both outside linebackers and send the pressure with the middle. And right here, Hunter Chadwick comes back under center, full house set. He's got Giles in his backfield. Man in motion. Chadwick's going to keep it. Pressure coming, side steps the defender, throws towards the end zone, and is intercepted in the end zone.
Number 33, Cortez Stoudemire with the interception.
And Cortez Stoudemire nearly had one earlier in the game, along with Andrew McAtee. And right there, the defense gets another turnover inside the red zone. Big break for Southmont. And their offense, they couldn't break into the end zone. And right there, this is going to set up a field position at the 20-yard line for the Western Boone offense. And this is the first time we've seen the Webo offense in a while.
Yeah, this defense has been forcing turnovers. Obviously, we had Holdorf with a return touchdown, which is why they brought Southmont's offense back on the field.
Yeah, right here. Wright is going to keep it. He's slung down by Peyton Weiniger. There's a flag on the play. Flies in right at the end there, but not able to get any yards going there for Spencer Wright, and time is stopped to discuss the penalty.
Yeah, Colin, turnovers were the story of Western Boone's defense last week as they were able to hold Frankfort 57-0, the final score. They had 2 interceptions, one of them going back for a touchdown, and 2 fumble recoveries as well. As the field conditions were a little wet, but all season we've seen this quick Webo defense force a lot of turnovers. And the offense, for the most part, has been able to cover the ball and not throw very many interceptions or lose very many fumbles.
And right there, they called the penalty on Southmont, so that's going to give Western Boone 5 fresh yards and still a first down. So pistol formation for the Stars. They've got 2 receivers out to the far side, 1 to the near side. That's Benson. Referee finally gets out of the way. And right here, the handoff to Cruz Washington up the middle, breaking out to the left side. Washington down the sideline. He's got 1 man to beat. And the speed of Washington. Cruz Washington is gone. Touchdown, Western Boone. And Cruz Washington, the transfer from Lebanon High School, doing it all for the Western Boone offense.
He sat out last week's game against Frankfort because he was still in the concussion protocol for most of the week. But the week before, the home game against North Montgomery, this Lightning quick number 36 scored 3 touchdowns on the ground. 2 of them coming from big runs. One of them almost identical to that exact run right there.
And the profile on Washington, his older brother was ranked.
Miller.
Oh, and right here, and it's going to be a throw. Whoa, it's nearly a one-handed grab by Andrew McAtee, but not able to be hauled in. That pass falls incomplete. Mitch Miller tried to toss it in. It's not good. So Western Boone still leads 13-0. Right there, that's the touchdown return by Holdorf. Try to get the replay coming up here on that PAT. But anyway, looking at Washington, his older brother was ranked one of the best running backs in the state. Broke multiple rushing records at 4A Lebanon and is now at Marion University, the Knights. Cruz Washington leads the team in rushing yards with 315 on 34 carries through 5 games. He missed last game due to concussion protocol. He passed all the tests about 2 days before the game, but the training staff still wouldn't release him. And he averages 9.3 yards per carry, and right there that adds to his total. We're going to bring up the replay here. Take a look at Washington just blazing speed down the sideline. Nobody was going to catch him there. He knew once he got that crease, he was gone.
And as I mentioned, it was almost identical to the big run he had at the end of the last game that he played when he scored 3 touchdowns on the run.
And Washington with a lot of touchdowns. That's his 6th touchdown of the season, 34 rushes for 315 yards. Yeah, right here. It's away, and it flies back in the end zone past Dylan Loy, the return man. This is going to set up a 1st and 10 for Southmont at their own 20-yard line. And last time they got a good running game going, and the turnover by Hunter Chadwick really was a heartbreaker after they just had another turnover by Chadwick, the fumble recovery for a touchdown, then the interception in the end zone by Cortez Stoudemire. Set up the touchdown run by Washington. Nathaniel, you think they just try to ground pound it all the way out from here on?
Well, that's really been the only thing that's worked for this team. But as soon as you start doing that and just going solely on the run, then this defense will be able to shut it out, and that'll spell trouble for this offense, as Western Boone's defense has been able to spell trouble for opposing offenses all year long en route to a 6-0 or 6-0 record.
Right here, the handoff up the middle. Giles with another big run.
Western Boone last week was able to whoop up on Frankfort. Danville already up to 21-0 lead at the end of the first against Frankfort.
And our score information coming in from Andy Hoskins. Andy, thank you for being a supporter of Western Boone football, giving us all the scoring updates from around the conference. We appreciate it.
Andy also he plugs in the scores and the stats in maxpreps.com. So he's able to do a lot for this Western Boone team stat-wise.
Also, big shout-out to the Plunkett family for being a good contributor to Western Boone football right here. That is Logan Smith. Logan Smith still going. He gets across the first down marker. He gets tackled across the 30-yard line. It's going to be down at about the 34-yard line. Good run there by Logan Smith. And Logan Smith for this team, he's 29 carries for 172 yards and 3 touchdowns. He averages 5.9 yards per carry. Good run. Obviously, Southmont relies a lot on the run. They're over 1,479 yards rushing on the season. Most likely probably could break the 2,000-yard point with the way they've been running against this Western Boone defense tonight. They obviously won't break it tonight unless they have just an outburst of running. But throughout the season, I feel like they could really reach that 2,000-yard point. What do you think, Nathaniel?
Yeah, there's a great possibility with this team relying solely on this run. As you mentioned, coming into the game, Giles had 98 carries, as they've definitely been feeding him the ball each game.
Right here, Southmont takes a timeout. We're going to take one as well and listen to some of our ads. Thank you for joining Western Boone Radio TV broadcast of tonight's football game here on homecoming weekend.
You hungry? Bob's Concessions sells food such as Polish and Italian sausage, tenderloins, hamburgers, hot dogs, fries, and more. You can find Bob Campbell and his delicious food truck at events such as fairs, carnivals, and festivals. For more information, call 317-850-6491.
Back here at Western Boone High School, Southmont on offense. On the first down, Chadwick dropping straight back. He fires down the middle of the field. Oh, and good coverage by Connor Hull to break it up. That was intended for number 3, Tyson Bushong. Connor Hull kept with him stride for stride, able to get a paw on the football.
Yeah, Hull, that was a great play by him. Him and number 33, Stoudemire, they're both juniors, but they're huge leaders for this team. They're able to get a lot of stops, a lot of defended passes, as well as interceptions that we've seen tonight.
Right here, this whole coverage has been great so far for the Western Boone team. The passing game hasn't really been working for Southmont, but right here they're going to run the option. Chadwick with the keeper. He's slung down by number 2, Devin Weekly, finished off in there by Patrick Schallenberger, the former receiver, converted defensive lineman. He still plays a little bit of receiver, listed as second on the depth chart. And right there, Schallenberger able to get down the line of scrimmage and make the tackle on Chadwick.
Yeah, Schallenberger. He's 6'3", 210 pounds as he plays as this defensive end for the team. Not the typical defensive end that you see on a defense, but he is able to do a great job of that position.
And here we go, pistol formation for Chadwick. Giles is in the backfield. He's going to keep it. Flings it, fires. It's complete to Bushong. Bushong tries to get outside. He does. He will pick up the first down. He's tackled by Luke Cornodal, number 15, and Cortez Stoudemire. And then to finish him off, Devin Weekly get in there to hit him up high. But nevertheless, Bushong gets a first down for the Southmont Mounties.
Yeah, as we've seen all night, we already have, just on that play, 2 to 3 guys who were in on the tackle. This team's lightning quick rushing to the ball, as that's what defensive coordinator Travis Brunes is preaching all throughout the year.
Travis Brunes really does like the way his defense can be physical. They do a tradition every year. They give out a Minahuni jersey, and what a Minahuni is, it's a creature in Hawaii that defends its population and it defends its people, and they give it, the defensive coordinator Travis Brunes gives it to whoever shows that kind of effort on the defensive side. Most all the starting defense has one, and right there, number 4 with the run, Logan Smith on the toss, tackled down by Dietz Holdorf, number 75 right there. And on the stop, 75 Dietz Holdorf and Peyton Young. 7:09 to go here in the second quarter. 13-0 score. It'll be 2nd down and 7 with the ball on the 47-yard line, inching closer to the 50. Here comes Hunter Chadwick on offense. Giles is in the backfield, full house set. Man in motion, that's Smith. They're going to hand it off to Weiniger. Peyton Weiniger working his way up the middle. Short gain on the play. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
Nice little counter play there, a little option as he fakes the handoff to his running back, gets it out to number 22, Weiniger, as you mentioned, as he gets a nice gain of about 5 on the play.
And the Stars look like they're going to load up here on the defensive front. They brought in a lot of extra bodies. Brett Wethington near the line of scrimmage, number 16. And also the outside linebacker, Luke Kernodle. And also Josh Benson. Chadwick is going to keep it. He does pick up the 1st down. They get inside the 45-yard line down to the 44. It's a 1st down for Southmont again. And Southmont really has been able to move the football against this defense, but the defense has forced 2 turnovers here so far. What does the defense need to do here to prevent Southmont from breaking into the end zone on this drive?
Well, as you can tell from the score, this defense has been bending but not breaking. They've been allowing a lot of rushing yards on the ground so far tonight, but they have been able to get nice stops, as you've seen a few stops, some turnovers throughout the game.
Full house set for Chadwick. Man in motion, that's Weiniger. Weiniger gets to the outside of the right. He's got a hole, sidesteps another defender, breaks a tackle, and then he's finally brought down after a big run of about 15 yards, tackled by number 2, Devin Weekly. Finally brought down Giles and Weiniger running wild. We've been saying Giles' name a lot tonight, but right there, Peyton Weiniger getting in on some of the offensive action.
Yeah, Weiniger's been coming out a lot of times on these sweeps, been running out to the outside, a bit more of a speed back, as Giles has been running up the middle, more of a power back.
And Peyton Weiniger, 32 carries, 281 yards. He averages 8.8 yards per carry. Those are 46.8 yards per game. His longest run is 26 yards. He has 2 touchdowns on the season. Going to go full house set again. Smith goes into the right side. Straight ahead right there to Cameron Giles. Weekly was there to make the stop. Also in on that, Luke Kernodle up front for the defensive line. And taking a look at some of our sponsors again, Smith's Show Pigs, thank you for supporting Webo Football Broadcast, along with the Plunkett family. We appreciate all your support here on WBTV Sports. Well, Nathaniel, 2nd down and 7. Most likely going to go back with another run here, but they've sprinkled in a little bit of passing plays here and there. What do you think they do here on 2nd down?
Well, it makes sense for them to run the ball up the middle, as they do before they get stopped by the referee.
Right there, flag on the field. Let's see what the penalty is. The referees are mic'd up here tonight, so we're able to hear what the calls are in the stands. Apparently the official's mic is not working. It's a false start penalty against Southmont with 4:21 to go in the second quarter. 2nd down and 12. After the penalty setback here. Chadwick under center. Giles still in the backfield. Giles has not come out of the game so far up to this point. Clock rolls on. Chadwick Takes a snap, handoff. No, he's going to keep it. They run the option. He pitches out to Smith, who tries to get to the outside. He gets back to the original line of scrimmage. That's going to bring up third down. Good stop there by the Stars defense to get to the outside. And we talked about what Southmont needs to do. They've been really attacking the middle of this defense. They've had good blocking up front to this point right there. You see the front seven of the defensive line. Patrick Schallenberger looking a little tired. That's attributed to the part of this great blocking of the Southmont offensive line. The offensive line has just been dominating up front, making a lot of holes for Giles to run through.
Yeah, no team really to this point has been able to do that against Western Brunes. They've got this awesome defense that they've been riding on throughout the season.
Chadwick on the rollout. He's going to fire it short, complete to Smith. Smith makes Weekly miss. Cuts back inside. He's down to the 20-yard line. He was tackled by number 32, Josh Benson. Make the stop. Boy, Logan Smith, good reception there. Short game working well here for Southmont. So now they're inching closer inside the red zone. Ball is resting on the 20-yard lines, 1st and 10 with 4 minutes left.
Last time this team was in the red zone, they threw a pick in the end zone. So we'll see what happens this time around. 3 minutes, 50 seconds left in the second quarter.
7 seconds on the play clock. Southmont needs to get the ball snapped here. They're down to 2 seconds.
1.
They get it off. Hand off to the outside to Weiniger. Weiniger's met by a couple of defenders. He's finally tackled down. Gets close to the first down marker.
So far, every touch by Weiniger has been a sweep. They've been lining him up at the halfback position at the left side, and he just sweeps down to the right side. It's a nice gain of a first down there.
This team is primarily a rushing team, so once they get closer inside the red zone, look for Hunter Chadwick to keep the football a little bit more. He has the second most rushing touchdowns on the team with 6 to add to his total of 8 passing touchdowns. 69 carries for 181 yards. He only averages 2.6 yards per carry, though, so that kind of shows you that he probably gets most of his carries down inside the end zone. Right here, the handoff to Giles up the middle. Giles spins off a few defenders, and he gets down close inside the 5-yard line. It's going to be a first down.
Yeah, that was my bad on the last play. Brought up second down, not first down. I messed that up.
And a scoring update from Andy Hoskins again. Danville up 34-0 on Frankfort. Dominating performance still for Ben Slayton, the Plainfield quarterback transfer, and the Warrior offense.
Yeah, the game looks really similar so far scoring-wise as to what our game was against Frankfort last week. Frankfort so far has started out 0-6. This could bring them to 0-7 if they don't get back in this game.
And another timeout here taken by Western Boone. We're going to take a timeout as well. Thank you for listening to Western Boone Football on WBTV Sports.
To survive a night at Indiana Fear Farm.
It was awesome.
Scary. Very, very scary.
We traveled an hour and a half to come to it.
Come see what's new in our spectacular haunted hayride stunt show and scream your way through our blood-curdling slaughter bar.
Don't touch me! It was so cool! I peed my pants.
It was fantastic.
I had fun. The worst part was that when you had
If you want fear, if you want fun, get it all for one low price at Indiana Fear Farm. Opening weekend, September 28th, 29th, and 30th. Go to IndianaFearFarm.com now for instant coupon. Indiana Fear Farm in Jamestown. Come out here for farm fresh fear.
oh my God. Scary.
IndianaFearFarm.com.
Back here, Western Boone High School crowd is on their feet with Southmont threatening to score. Hunter Chadwick keeps it into the end zone. Touchdown, Southmont. And like I said earlier, Chadwick likes to keep the football inside the 5-yard line. Right there, he breaks in for 6 to put Southmont on the board.
Yeah, that was a great play by him. They were able to in the end zone rather than make another mistake as they have all game. They were able to make a nice little sweet play. Quarterback keeper goes in for a score of 6.
Chadwick continues his stellar rushing performance, second most rushing touchdowns on the team. He now has 7 on the year. He adds 15 total touchdowns to just 4 interceptions. He has 5 interceptions, actually. He threw 1 earlier. Also a fumble that was returned back for a touchdown. Right there, the defense broke for Western Boone, not able to stop the running attack of Peyton Weiniger, Cameron Giles, and Hunter Chadwick, the 3-headed monster of Southmont, getting things done here. And Nathaniel, Western Boone trailing, Western Boone on top, 13-7, Southmont trailing. What do you think Southmont needs to do to get back in this football game to stop Webo on offense?
Well, what they're doing right now is perfect. They're leaning on their running game, whether it's, as you mentioned, there's Giles, there's Winiger, or there's their quarterback Chadwick, who's been getting nice gains throughout the game. Now, I wouldn't fault this Western Boone defense. There's just been great tackling, some great scheming and play calling from Southmont.
That's impressive because the Stars defense does have 2 turnovers tonight, but right there they give up 7. And with 2:33 to go in the second quarter, Southmont finally breaks in the end zone to make it a 1-score game. The kick team is back out there with Ryan Stanley ready to tee it up. The Stars return team is back out. Number 36, Cruz Washington, who had a long touchdown run earlier. And number 21, Joe Hendricks, the speedy deep threat receiver. (15-play, 80-yard drive by Southmont caps it off with 7 points.
Yeah, and as you mentioned earlier, last week this team was able to control the time of possession.
Stanley chips this one towards the sideline. It's picked up just inside the 30-yard line. It'll be spotted about the 27.
Yeah, so far Southmont's dominated the time of possession, and that hasn't worked too much in their favor right now as the score is 13-7. They're losing, but it is a step in the right direction as they're able to keep this offense for Western Boone, the prolific offense, off the field.
We'd also like to give a big shout out to Home National Bank for sponsoring our scoreboard here on the broadcast. Thank you for contributing to Western Boone football here on WBTV Sports. Once again, I'm Kollin Brunes alongside Nathaniel Finch, bringing you the action here. Spencer Wright in the pistol formation with Washington in his backfield. Oh, and right there they get the Southmont defense to jump off sides.
Second one this game for Southmont.
And Southmont, has had so far 3 penalties on defense. They had one earlier, the face mask call, which gave Western Boone a first down and 5. Right here they get one. Get another first down and 5, so it makes it much more manageable field position. So their ball is going to be spotted across the 30-yard line. It's going to be at the 34. And right here, pistol formation again for Wright. And no, Wright keeps it, and he runs towards the outside. He got one man to beat. He gets another block. He gets out of bounds, finally across the 40-yard line, knocked out of bounds by Keaton Conkright. But nevertheless, Spencer Wright, the dual threat quarterback, able to use his legs to get outside and pick up a first down.
Yeah, so far in the season, he's had 39 carries for a little under 200 yards. He probably passed 200 yards with that run, and he's had 3 touchdowns on the ground so far, averaging just a little under 5 yards a carry, which is very good in football.
Right here, Wright again takes a snap, handoff to Washington, up the middle of the defense. Washington with the speed again. Touchdown, Cruz Washington. 2 plays, length of the field, and Cruz Washington caps it off with another electrifying touchdown run.
Yeah, he's got a week to make up for. He wasn't here last week, so he's going to keep being productive to make up for that, I guess.
Look for him to get those numbers up. He's talking about last week he was very upset that he didn't get to play. He wanted to get his numbers up and also be out there with his football team, but nevertheless, this week already 2 touchdowns on the board for Washington. Mitch Miller with a hold. Oh, and the PAT is blocked. Tyson Bouchon, the receiver, able to block the PAT. So once again, that's 2 PATs gone. We're going to take a look at the replay here. The run by Washington. That's earlier his first touchdown run down the sideline. We're going to bring up the replay of the touchdown run he just had here in a minute. But nevertheless, Washington still another electrifying run for him. Gonna bring up that replay here in just a second. Here it comes. Right there, Southmont goes 4 down linemen to try and stop him up the middle. Close down the outside. Right there, the guard pull from Sam Wilkinson, able to get the good block, the kick-out block, and then Washington just using pure speed to split the defenders, and he takes it all the way to the house.
They were very happy. He came over here from Lebanon. Lebanon being our rival. It's good that he can put up some points for our team.
Right here, the score, 19-7. Western Boone on top, 2:21 to go in the first half. Peyton Young has it teed up at the 40-yard line. Only 2 plays, 75 yards. Cruz Washington, another touchdown run. Great running for him. And he's already just he's at 7 touchdowns total on the season. He's nearing that 10 touchdown mark.
Yeah, he's been leading his team for touchdowns just because he's so explosive. He's been getting a lot of big gains. All 3 of his touchdowns from 2 weeks ago were huge gains, and 2 of them this week already big gains in the right side end zone.
They really like to run that play up to the right of the offensive line. They like to go to the left side. And right there, the guard kick out from the senior, Sam Wilkinson. Wilkinson has received multiple offers from certain local area Division III colleges, such as Taylor University, NAIA school. And also, he's looked at Hanover College and a few other places to go. And right there, this one is kicked out of bounds across the 20-yard line. Going to be probably down to the 15. They're going to spot this one.
That will bring the ball up, though, because there's a penalty to kick it out of bounds. Going to move the ball up.
Great offense again by the Stars. Cruz Washington, such an electric player. Provides a spark when you need it, doesn't he, Nathaniel?
Yeah, definitely. And they were able to make up for him last week. They had number 20, Dylan Brown, start. He did lose his jersey, kind of a funny story. He lost his jersey Friday of last week's game, so they had to give him number 12 for the game.
I didn't know that.
But he was able to fill in pretty good in his absence.
It's pretty funny.
Washington definitely a big part of this team so far. As you mentioned, he's been leading his team in touchdowns so far with 7.
Oh, yeah, and he's also been leading him in rushing yards, too. 315 on 34 carries through 5 games. It's a 6th game right here. He had 1 game with 100-plus rushing yards this season. Only 1 game through 6. But really, there's no need for him to have all those rushing yards when your whole team just dominates competition all the way around. Right here, Chadwick under center. He's going to keep it. Chadwick pitches it outside to Giles. Giles gets down the left sideline, forced out of bounds. He's picked up immediately by the Western Boone sideline.
There's a galaxy of stars in on that tackle.
Number 84, Austin Bowman, right there to pick him up.
As well as he had number 13, Logan Benson in, and also number 18, Peyton Young on the tackle as they were able to push him out of bounds.
Austin Bowman showing some good sportsmanship. He's a very excellent JV player. He's a young player. He's a very great junior varsity receiver.
Yeah, he's been able to make big plays, at least in the JV games, and he's been able to come up pretty big in some of these varsity games when they put him into the game. Right now he's standing on the sideline, though.
Chadwick. Hand off to Giles up the middle, breaks a tackle, and he's finally brought down by number 2, Devin Weekly, and Josh Benson there to finish him off. That's a short gain on the play. That's going to bring up a first down, though.
That's enough for a first down, yeah.
That's a 46-yard line, 2:09 to go in the first half.
They're starting to get the homecoming floats ready for the halftime. There's only 2 minutes left until.
You can see at the top of your screen there some of the homecoming floats going by here. We'll cover that as halftime rolls on. Chadwick under center. That's a handoff to Giles again, and Giles tackled by Devin Weekly and Josh Benson along with Logan Benson. 2 brothers getting in there. Connor Holt came up from a safety position to clean it up. And Nathaniel, this team of Western Boone, they do a lot of good gang tackling. And one thing Travis Brunes really loves is when the whole defense rallies to the ball together.
Yeah, and we've been seeing that a lot this game. We've seen it a lot this season. They just haven't been able to get there quick enough. They've been fast, but this offensive line for Southmont's been killer.
Oh, and right there, a wobbly pass caught on the outside. Tyson Bashong there with the reception.
Brought down by number 18, Peyton Young, assisted by number 33, Cortez Stoudemire. Both defensive backs for the Stars.
Right there, a little talking at the end of the play from Bashong. He goes to the sideline. That's a timeout, though. And that timeout is taken by Southmont. Looking at some scores coming in from Andy Hoskins. Again, 33-0 at halftime, Lebanon over Crawfordsville. So Lebanon, the in-town rivals, getting it done against Crawfordsville.
They haven't been able to get it done against other conference opponents. They're really the next team up after Western Boone in this conference.
And we're going to take a timeout here as well. We're going to run some of our ads here. We'll be back with more here on WBTV Sports.
Have you ever wondered if you could drive a school bus? Wouldn't it be nice to work when your kids are in school?
Western Boone is currently accepting applications, allowing us to train you one-on-one for this exciting opportunity. For more information, visit our website at weboschools.org/employment for this exciting opportunity.
Come on, take the wheel. Join a great team in a rewarding job.
Seconds do we have?
Halftime for that game.
Well, we're back here, and as we were talking about, North Montgomery 12, Tri-West 3, so North Montgomery getting it done. Giles there with the carry to the outside, bounces out, picks up a first down, gets to the out-of-bounds marker. Gang tackling there by Michael Rice and Dietz Holdorf, the two big defensive linemen getting it done. Michael Rice also starts offensive line. He's in there at offensive guard. And Nathaniel, how much does it help that you have players that are able to go two ways?
Yeah, it's awesome. They've got definitely good players on offense and defense. It's been able to help this team have a great offense and a great defense so far throughout the season, on their way to a 6-0 record so far in the year. This defensive line has a lot of depth, as we've got number 50. Number 50, as you just mentioned, was Michael Rice. He's also assisted by number 51, Caleb Freeman, down at the nose tackle position, so they like to rotate in and out throughout the game. You've also got 5 Schallenberger on the other side at the end, and number 75, who got the fumble recovery earlier, Dietz Holdorf. So they've got a lot of depth on this line, a lot of nice, talented guys who are able to rotate throughout.
46 seconds left to go in the first half. And we're going to see a different offensive formation tonight here for Southmont. They're going pistol formation in the slot. They have number 23, Logan Benge, it looks like. Actually, that is Peyton Weiniger. Oh, I got 23 on my screen, but looking at now, it is Peyton Weiniger. So on the outside, we have number 88, Nathan France. He's matched up against Logan Benson, and trying to figure out what is going on here.
Yeah, there's a lot of confusion on the plays, you can see.
Now the officials are waiting for the clock to be dead, and for trying to figure out what is going on here on the field. Now the officials are really doing a lot of moving around. And right there, they're asking for 7 seconds to be put on the clock.
Yeah, that'll bring the time to 47.9 left in the first half.
So a little bit of confusion as to what was going on. We're not really sure why the officials decided to stop everything, and still some conversation going on. Trying to figure out where to go after the football game for dinner.
Easy there, Kollin.
I'm just kidding. You know, it's always good after a nice Friday night football game. A lot of the football players on Webo like to meet up at the local restaurants around Lebanon, mainly the Steak and Shake, to name a few. And, you know, it's always great after you just played a whole about 3 hours of football. And right here, and Hunter Chadwick's in trouble, and the ball is free. And the officials whistling. They're going to whistle it an incomplete pass. And the sideline of Western Boone wants an intentional grounding. It doesn't look like they're going to get one.
That's some good pressure by this Western Boone defensive front. They were to get back there and almost get the sack as he was able to just barely get the ball out of his hands.
30 seconds left to go until halftime.
And counting.
Southmont trying to get set in formation. Travis Brunes getting the calls to his defense. Bouchon in motion, and a flag comes in, and the reception is dropped by Logan Smith. And a flag on the play, so it's ruled incomplete, but there is a flag. Looks like it's going to be an illegal shift against Southmont. So with 19 seconds left to go until halftime, Southmont draws an illegal shift penalty, and that's going to set them back longer.
Kollin, you got to wonder if they take the risk, if they throw some deep passes to try to get a touchdown before the end of the half, or if they just admit defeat for this half and just run it, maybe kneel down.
You're already down by 12. Still a close game. Could potentially get back into it. I don't know if you do try a Hail Mary prayer.
You are
off this one up.
Almost 60 yards away from pay dirt. It's not really a good call to throw some deep passes, as we've seen throughout the last few weeks, some deep passes getting picked off from Western Boone.
Yeah, they've had deep coverage great all night here, Western Boone. Cortez Stoudemire already has an interception tonight back in the end zone, and right here looks like Chadwick might throw, but it might be very short.
Pass.
All right, here they're going to go back with a screen pass to Peyton
Weininger.
Weininger stiff arms the defender up the middle, breaks the tackle, and Schallenberger chases him down and stops him from getting the end zone. And the final seconds will tick off the clock here. And
is a timeout.
It looks like a timeout might be taken here.
Timeout against the Mounties.
Yep, it's a timeout for the Mounties. Patrick Schallenberger able to chase down Weininger before he can do any more damage. With 1.2 seconds on the clock, 19-7 score.
This team didn't take a timeout with just a second left.
It is fourth down
just to run the ball. This team took this timeout so they can throw a deep pass into the end zone, try to get some points. Probably what they didn't expect.
They did get a big chunk of yardage off that short screen pass, and it was a lot safer option. The hole really opened up in the middle of the defense, and Schallenberger was lucky to get back. Like we said, this defense is very speedy, and they were definitely fortunate to have that speed there from Schallenberger to chase him down.
Yeah, Weininger's had a lot of big plays so far in this game. As I mentioned, they've been tossing him out to each side, but that time they get a screen pass, runs right at the middle for a huge chunk of yards as the Red Sea opened up in the middle of this defense for Western Boone.
It is 3rd down and 12. And right here, it's a 4-deep coverage for Western Boone's defense. So we got Andrew McAtee, Peyton Young, Joe Hendricks. It's either Joe Hendricks or Connor Hull. It is Connor Hull and Logan Benson back to cover it up. Chadwick takes the snap, rolls to his right. Pressure coming, and he just delivers a short one to Giles. Giles is going to get back to the original line of scrimmage, and Chadwick was slammed hard. And this one is that last play is going to wrap it up. Chadwick gets up to his feet. 19-7 score at the half here. Western Boone on top. Great performance so far from the defense. They did give up a touchdown earlier, but 2 turnovers and 1 return for a touchdown. And then also the 2 touchdown runs by Cruz Washington contributes to this lead. We'll be back with more after this. This is WBTV Sports here at Western Boone from Witham Health Field.
For His Children is a local nonprofit that works to provide much-needed help to orphaned, abandoned, and impoverished children. Their mission is to support these children through financial contributions, donations of various supplies, prayer commitments, mission trips, and much more. For more information or to make a donation, please visit hopeforhischildren.org or contact founder Michelle Timmons at 317-989-2406. Are you hungry? Bob's Concessions sells food such as Polish and Italian sausage, tenderloins, hamburgers, hot dogs, fries, and more. You can find Bob Campbell and his delicious food truck at events such as fairs, carnivals, and festivals. For more information, call 317-850-6491.
As part of our homecoming celebration, I'm always down Our students participated in a float parade and constructed floats all week. It's time now for the 2018 float parade. Our first float this evening is the freshman float. Their theme this year was home slice. Next we have the sophomores with Home Away from Home.
I don't know that they've got one of those turned in yet. I haven't heard of a fidget spinner yet. Yeah, but I don't think we're doing it. They did the hot fidget spinner. Has anybody turned in one of those? Hopefully they'll turn it in if somebody finds it. Okay. Go tell Eli to go look for the ticket. You should have been holding on to it, Dad.
Now let's bring our junior floats. They chose home run as their theme this year. Here's our junior float. That's from the juniors. And last but not least, we have our senior float with the theme of No Place Like Home. And here's our senior float.
Hey, take that back. Dark and dusty, take it on the sky.
Let's go, seniors. All right, now for the winners of the 2018 float parade. Our runner-up goes to the juniors. Great job, everyone, for this year's homecoming floats. Tonight's winner of the float competition goes to the seniors. And now for the medal we've been waiting for. Let's meet our 2018 fall homecoming courts. Our freshman princess this evening is Lily Eisen. Lily is the daughter of Jay and Tammy Eisen, being escorted by Garrett Neff. son of Brad and Betty Bell. Lily participates in Spanish club, and is an acting club. Lily is also a varsity cheerleader. Our next princess, sophomore princess.
That's pretty funny, though.
Is Hannah Revlin. Hannah is the daughter of Tim and Shannon Revlin. She's being escorted by Cooper Williams, son of Joshua and Michelle Williams. Hannah participates in the Sunshine Society. Future Christian athletes and was chosen to be Performance Leadership Group. Hannah also plays volleyball and softball for Western Boone. Our junior princess is Esther Pizzoli. Esther is the daughter of Mara Pottinger and Luca Pizzoli. Esther is a foreign exchange student from Italy, hosted by Todd and Jimmy Cavender. She's being escorted by Drew Barlow, son of Aaron Barlow, and Michelle Harson. Esther plays soccer for Western Boone and plans on playing basketball this year. Now for our senior king and queen candidates. But first, Betsy Bales, being escorted by Andrew McAtee. Betsy is the daughter of Tony and Jennifer Bales. Betsy is a member of the Pep Club, P Club, and camp. She's also formed the Student Leadership Group, National Honor Society, 4-H, and is one of the volleyball managers. Betsy plans on attending either at Ball State or Purdue University to major in nursing. Andrew is the son of Chad and Julie Mackey. Andrew participates in FCCLA, Pep Club, FCA, and is in the National Honor Society. He also plays football and basketball. He is currently undecided on his plans after high school. Our next is Nada Burns, being escorted by Lucas Morton. Nada is the daughter of Tom and Blythe Burns. Nada is a member of the Western Choir and Sunshine Society. She also participates in the radio TV program. Nada plans on continuing her education in an undecided college to major in psychology with a goal of becoming an art therapist. Lucas is the son of Scott and Angie Morton. He is a member of the Pep Club and Chess Club. Lucas also plays basketball for Western Boone. He plans on continuing his education after high school, but is currently undecided on his area of studies. Our next is Maggie Cleveland-Smith, being escorted by Patrick Schallenberger. Maggie is the daughter of Adam and Jody Cleveland-Smith. Maggie participates in 4-H and is a member of the girls' Remo tennis team. She is currently attending Ivy Tech Conferenceville for her business administration certificate. Maggie plans on continuing her study of business at Ivy Tech after high school. Patrick is the son of Pat and Chris Schallenberger. Patrick is a member of the Spanish Club, Chess Club, Ecology Club, Pep Club, and FCCLA. He's also a member of the National Honor Society and the Star Voices Choir. Patrick plays football, basketball, and is a member of the track team for here at Western Boone. Patrick hopes to continue his education at a four-year college, studying biological sciences while also playing football. Our next is Jeff Klasky, being escorted by Peyton Young. Jen is the daughter of Eric and Julie Klasky. Jen is a varsity cheerleader and is a member of the Pep Club. She is also an AMP mentor. Jen plans on attending either Ball State or Indiana State University to major in intense special education and elementary education with a minor in political science and psychology. Peyton is the son of Jeremy and Angie Young. Peyton is a member of Pep Club and FCCLA. He's also an athletic ambassador and a member of the Kollin Student Leadership Group. He plays football, basketball, and baseball for Western Boone. He plans on attending the University of Southern Indiana to play baseball and major in business administration. The 2017 Homecoming Queen has returned to help us crown our new winners this evening. The 2017 Queen is Maddie Forey, who is currently attending Indiana State University and studying nursing. And now for the moment we've been waiting for. The homecoming king for 2018 is Andrew McAtee. And for the homecoming queen, 2018 is Jet McClaskey. Congratulations to everybody on the 2018 homecoming court. Well done. You've represented Western Boone very well.
Welcome back to Western Boone High School. 20 seconds left to go until the second half kickoff comes around. Going to do quick recap of the first half. Nathaniel, what stood out to you about Western Boone on offense?
Well, on offense, they only had a couple possessions. Their first one was a 3-and-out, and then the next couple were good touchdowns. They're leading 19-0 currently, and one of those touchdowns came on defense, but the other two came on the ground as Cruz Washington is having himself a day, as he did just 2 weeks ago against North Montgomery. Here's one of his touchdowns as he was about the 40-yard line.
And right here dissecting the play, we see number 56 right there, Sam Wilkinson pull, and it just creates a big hole for Washington. He's able to use his speed, split the two defenders, go diagonal length of the field, and just waltz in for the score. He's been running hard all night, and so far they haven't had an answer for him, but neither has the Western Boone defense against the run.
Here's his first touchdown of the day.
And right here, yeah, Cruz Washington's first touchdown of the day. Just down the sideline, uses his speed yet again. He likes to have that burst of speed. He turns on the second gear.
He beat everyone by 10 yards on that play. I mean, he was in the end zone, and he had three guys trailing at the 10-yard line.
He was trying to pass up another defender just before that run, and he ended up just turning on the afterburner and just firing down the field. Right here, the touchdown return by Dietz Holdorf off the strip sack fumble from Hunter Chadwick. And right there, Holdorf with the active hands able to scoop it up and score. And Travis Brunes likes to preach that a lot. The scoop and score aspect really is what drives this football team, and everybody rallying to the ball together. That's how they're able to get so many good possessions and great plays on defense. We've seen a lot of really big plays on the defensive side of the ball just because everybody hustles to the football throughout the years on this defense.
For sure. It's been like that all year long and even before then. So we've got a lot of, like you were mentioning, scoop and score. We've got a lot of these fumble recoveries that are picked up, gone for good gains.
And we'd also like to give a big shout out to Smith Show Pigs and the Plunkett family. Thank you for supporting Western Boone football broadcast here on WBTV Sports. And also Nathaniel has a word.
So if you guys are watching from an outstanding city, leave a comment. We've already had viewers from Kansas City, Las Vegas, Kentucky, places like that. So it's pretty cool for everyone to see the different places that we've got viewers from.
And right now, both teams have returned to the sideline. We also like to give a big shout out to Home National Bank for sponsoring our scoreboard. And also just for contributing to Western Boone football broadcast here as a whole. And right now, a big shake from the... And yeah, we're going to have to hold on here. It's the wind is picking up here late in the evening, and it's really rocking the press box here.
Yeah, as you can see on the screen, the cameras are shaking back and forth. It's crazy.
A little nervous sitting up here on top of the crowd.
Calling you, I'll call the game
especially
from
our
the stands now.
our technical director, Darren Latham. He's pointing to himself, saying, "Yeah, I'm nervous too."
He's saying, "I got to get out of here."
Yeah, he's about ready to ditch us and run.
Let's go call the game
we'd
from the stands.
probably be better off without him anyway. No, I'm just kidding, Darren. I'm just kidding. We love you. You're doing a great job, and. Right now, both teams are ready to go here for the second half kickoff.
Coming out of the half, Western Boone, as you can see, leading 19-7. Some of the scores from around the state of Indiana. We've got Danville ahead on Frankfort, 55-0. If you remember last week, Western Boone won 57-0. So Frankfort's just not having a very good season so far this year. Brownsburg just barely beating Zionsville 35-24 after a half of play. And Cecina, number 3 ranked in 2A. Is leading Triton, who's Triton Central, number 2 ranked, 13-0 so far. Cecina was the team that beat Western Boone last year in the regional championships, as Western Boone's looking to get back into that position this year. Lebanon's also ahead against Crawfordsville, 33-0.
And similar to what the Western Boone defense is facing tonight, they had a big problem with stopping the run against Cecina. Cecina had a great quarterback. And, I mean, they still have a great team all around. They were able to utilize their rushing attack and get through the Stars' defense. And it was a close game all the way down to the wire, but eventually Cecina came away and dominated the final minutes of the game. And right here, Peyton Young has it teed up, ready to go, ready to get this one underway. Fresh 12 minutes are on the board. Western Boone leading 19-7, and PY boots it straight up the middle. And it's going to return by Lowy. Lowy gets the midfield. And he's brought down finally. And that's going to bring up a 1st and 10 for Southmont to begin their drive. And Nathaniel right there, the kick team has been great at covering kicks all season for Western Boone. The special teams unit is great here. Head coach Justin Pelly has been very great at organizing the team, but somebody who doesn't get the respect he deserves, Jamie Comer, the strength and conditioning coach here. He's also taken over some of the offensive play calling throughout the season. Pelly has kind of stepped into a more quarterback coach role. He was a quarterback in high school. He's also defeated by Western Boone in the playoffs. And it's kind of funny that now he's ended up here. He set a lot of school records in terms of coaching and player stats as well. Right here, Chadwick with the keeper. He pitches it to Giles on the outside, and Giles is wrapped up in the backfield by Devin Weekly. And right there, Luke Marsh, the sophomore starter, coming in from his corner position to lay the hit.
Yeah, the free safety number 24, Connor Hull, also got in on the hit. Just another example. We had 3 guys there on the tackles. This Western Boone defense, as you mentioned, Coach Comer has been able to get these guys strong throughout all sports across Western Boone. Our guys are really strong and athletic as they're able to, as you can see here, they've got this really lightning quick defense. Just pure athleticism on this team as well as talent.
Right here they go back to the full house set. Chadwick under center. There's Smith in motion. He's going to keep it himself. Pitch outside to Weiniger. Weiniger slung down.
15, Granodal on the stop. That was a great play.
Granodal, the starting tight end for the team, right there with the tackle for loss. And this Stars defense is looking a little different now coming out of the halftime locker room. Nathaniel, what do you think they talked about in there?
Yeah, definitely. And as we mentioned last week, these timeouts and these just breaks for this defense is really going to be able to help them get back into their groove, as Frankfurt was on the 1 yard line, just 1 yard away from a touchdown, 1 yard away from scoring first, and 1 yard away from stopping the shutout that eventually happened. And Western Boone took a timeout. They were able to regroup and come out guns a-blazing as they are right now.
3rd down and 13 right here. Chadwick with the throw. He completes it to Smith, and Smith is walloped by 3 defenders in on the stop. Devin Weekly, Luke Marsh, and number 18, Peyton Young. Good tackles right there. The gang tackling so far has been very well for the defense. They've been rallying to the football, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Yeah, and a lot of that goes to this great coaching staff Western Boone has, being able to get their guys, as we mentioned, to do some good tackling, some gang tackling, rallying over to the ball, and getting nice stops.
Peyton Young, been a very great safety all season. He's also a baseball player. He once defeated Crawfordsville in a sectional matchup. We pitched a complete game shutout. Right here, Southmont is forced to punt. They get this one away, and it's a short punt, bounces at the 50. It's going to keep bouncing inside the 45, rolls back across the 45, back to the 46. That's going to be spotted at the 46-yard line. The Western Boone offense takes over, and right there, the defense of Western Boone looking different, stopping the run and plugging the holes. And right there, they force a 3-and-out for Southmont.
Yeah, and like you said, coming out of the break, that halftime break, and they're able to come out and get some nice stops as the offense is already out on the field just 3 minutes into the first half, or in the second half.
And Nathaniel, what do you think Southmont needs to do to stop Cruz Washington and his electrifying runs?
Well, you can't give up big plays. As we mentioned in pregame, that this Southmont team has been prone to give up big plays.
Ooh, and Washington with a head fake, bounces to the outside, shakes off a defender, still barreling forward. He might have got a face mask right there. Doesn't look like they're going to throw it, but nevertheless, it is a first down run for Cruz Washington. No flag on the play.
There is a flag on the play.
There is? Where'd the flag fly in?
It's down at the sideline, right about where the tackle happened.
Right behind that big line of Western Boone players. Didn't see the flag fly in. Yeah, Cruz Washington was dragged. Let's see if we can get a replay on that. And unfortunately, we won't be able to, but Cruz Washington did get his head jerked back, and that's going to cost Southmont some more field position. Boy, Cruz Washington can do it all. He's just really a great athlete all around. He gets it in the family. I mean, his oldest brother, Jalen Washington, was one of the best running backs in the state of Indiana. He had multiple offers. He got visits to Michigan State, and he was also a prospect for Ball State, and now he's at Marion University. He's being a Knight. Right here, right with the pass. He's going to go long towards the end zone. He got it open. Logan Benson makes the reception. Touchdown, Western Boone. Logan Benson with a long ball. And Benson connects with his quarterback, Spencer Wright, for the touchdown. Going to bring up the replay here in just a moment to see what happened on the play. That extends the lead big here in the third quarter. And getting in some scoring here from around the conference. 12-9, North Montgomery in the third. And also at the end of the third, Lebanon blanking Crawfordsville 40-0.
The PAT was good, but there was a flag on the play.
So it's going to stand 26-7. The flag does come down. 9:23 to go in the third quarter. Western Boone strikes again. 26-7 replay right here. Oh, man, Spencer Wright, clean pocket all day. Long ball down the field, and Benson had his receiver beat. Tiptoed inbounds, a tightrope catch. Benson puts 6 on the board. The extra point is good. So right here, Webo already jumping out to a big lead as the game goes on. They're used to kind of jumping out to these big leads early on in football games. Last week they scored 44 points against Frankfurt in the second quarter, and that allowed for their JV unit to come out on the field early.
Yeah, Kollin, we're going to go ahead and take a look at this next replay. We got a different angle on the last touchdown so you can see a bit more of the play. As he mentioned, you got a clean pocket for Wright, who throws a nice deep one into the end zone.
Yeah, still not able to see the catch right there, but looking at it, I'm going to describe it to you as perfectly as I can. Benson was just streaking down the sideline. He was able to cradle it in his arms, looking over the back shoulder, and it just fell right in the breadbasket for him. He had to make a tightrope catch. His toes were right on the sideline, and but great hands by Logan Benson. He also played DB a little bit his sophomore year and junior year, and he's really developed well as a player.
Definitely, he's got the head for football. We were sitting up here in the press box at the JV game, and he's spouting all this stuff out to us that the defense for Western Boone should be doing, all this stuff that should be happening, just because he knows the game so well.
He's a very smart player and a very smart person. And right here, Peyton Young, soccer kicks it deep. That bounces in the end zone for a touchback. The whole special teams unit gets into the end zone to make sure they get all their laps in, and they come back to the sideline, trotting back. And Southmont, after going 3 and out on their last offensive drive, what do you think they need to do differently?
Well, they definitely need to get their running game going. Western Boone, their defense coming out of the break has been able to stop this rushing game. But Southmont should be more creative. As we saw earlier, they had their guy kicked out to the sweeps. They had their guys going right up the middle, just a bunch of different play calling. And it seemed to work for them in the first half. They're just not getting it going here in the second half.
Third quarter, 9:23 to go, 26-7 score. Western Boone in the lead over Southmont. And Chadwick is going to drop back to pass. Short drop. He's going to long ball it deep. This was intercepted by Cortez Stoudemire. Stoudemire with his second interception of the game. Oh, boy, and things are getting bad here at Western Boone. Southmont now, another turnover. That is Hunter Chadwick's second interception of the game.
Now, what did I say, Kollin? If they ran the football, that wouldn't happen. I know they want to come out and punch Western Boone in the mouth, but you cannot just take these big risks with as great as this Western Boone defense is.
That's 6 interceptions for Hunter Chadwick on the season. He has a 104.3 quarterback rating. He's the only quarterback to take snaps under center for Southmont this season. Right there, Cortez Stoudemire playing great coverage to the outside. Joe Hendricks in motion to the slot. Now he goes back in motion again. And it's going to be a pass play right. Drops back, clean pocket all day. Fires down the field. He's got a man open. Oh, and it's incomplete. It was intended for Logan Benson, who was streaking down the sideline. But Benson wasn't able to grab it. And looking at some of the other scores from around the conference, 11-40. Crawfordsville finally gets on the board, 40-6. So Crawfordsville puts 6 on the board against Lebanon. Still a dominating game for the Tigers. Second down and 10 for the Western Boone offense. And Wright draws another flag on the Southmont defense, and Southmont looks a little shaken up here coming out of the locker room. Jumping on that play was number 71. That's Judd Van Cleve, the defensive lineman.
Yeah, he's a leader for this defensive team for Southmont. He also plays center on the offensive line. The senior's not used to making mistakes like this. He's a very good player for the Southmont Monty's defense.
That's going to be second down and 5 after the incomplete pass and the penalty on defense. Bunch formation to the right side. Hand off to Washington again, and he's gone. Cruz Washington with his 3rd touchdown of the game, the hat trick.
Can you stop this guy, Kollin? Can you find a way to stop this guy, Cruz Washington, with his 3rd touchdown for the 2nd time in just 3 weeks?
And the fireworks keep going off here at Western Boone. Cruz Washington with the trifecta. 3 touchdowns in the game for him.
Yeah, that's a great play. He had a lot of early contact on the field. There's a flag on the play, by the way. There's a lot of early contact in the beginning. After the first 5 yards, he just slips right through and gets a nice, quick touchdown.
It looks like that touchdown's going to be drawn back. There's a holding call against Western Boone, so the touchdown's going to be taken off the board for Cruz Washington. Would have been his 3rd touchdown of the game, and knowing Cruz, I'm sure he's really upset about that.
No, I'm sure he'll be able to make it up and hit another one. He's been on fire tonight as he was against North Montgomery. The Southmont defense just hadn't been able to stop him.
Right here, Joe Hendricks in motion. He's going to take the outside handoff. He shakes a few defenders, still going, ducks under one. And he is still on his feet. Finally, a scrum ensues, and he's brought down.
As I mentioned earlier, the penalties so far, they haven't killed them too much this game, but throughout the season, Western Boone's been leaving a lot of points and a lot of first downs on the field because of these penalties, and that's just another example, a nice electrifying play that could get this team going, but instead it resulted in a penalty.
Well, penalties haven't been so bad for Western Boone throughout the season. It looks like it is a first down, so they're going to move the chains on the other sideline. There was still some debate about what was going on, but it was a first down run by Joe Hendricks.
No, obviously they haven't been too bad because they're 6-0, but there's just been a lot of points left on the field. Not necessary to get these points, but it's just something to keep an eye for once they start playing good competition.
On Spencer Wright going deep for Noah McClendon on. It's incomplete. In on the coverage, number 19. That's Jake Whitecotton. Good coverage on McClendon. McClendon is a big receiver, 6'4", about 185 pounds. And that's going to bring up second down and 10. Wright looking to go to the end zone again. Wright just has a really pretty ball, doesn't he? I mean, you just look at that thing fly. It's just a perfect spiral all the way down the field. It's like a missile. It's also like a soft touch.
Yeah, he's been playing quarterback since Little League, since second grade, really. And he's just been the highlight throughout the whole season for this team. Last year, he was doing very well for the team as well.
And it looks like, sorry to interrupt you, Nathaniel, but it looks like the Southmont defense once again was caught offside. That's going to set the ball at the 25-yard line. Still leading 26-7. 8:29 to go in the third quarter. Second out and 5. And number 3, Cecina scores. They're up 20-0 over number 2 Triton Central. So an upset going for Cecina High School, the team that defeated Western Boone last season in the regional matchup.
These are both 2A schools, so the ranks are obviously within the 2A conference. Western Boone being number 1 in 2A, as these two teams are 2 and 3, as we mentioned.
And right here, Washington's going to get the carry, breaks a tackle to the middle of the end zone. Touchdown, he's gone.
What did I say? He gets it going.
And there is the trifecta for Cruz Washington.
Second time's a charm, isn't it? Good thing to see. I don't see any yellow flags on the field. This one should stand.
Outstanding performance from the Lebanon transfer. The senior running back, Cruz Washington, putting everything on his back and using his speed to fly into the end zone. Right here, the extra point is up, and that one is good. That makes it a 33-7 lead over South Montgomery. We're going to take a look at the replay here. Wow, just a great run by Cruz Washington. Unbelievable right here. That was a touchdown run earlier. And once again, still continuing with the replay issue. Brand new software that the radio TV program has just got. Still trying to work out some of the kinks to it, but get everything figured out. You know, growing pains. Just like every football team, there's always growing pains, even for the most perfect teams. Nevertheless, a great touchdown run by Cruz Washington, making it a 33-7 game. 8:24 to go in the third quarter. And this one's starting to get out of hand. We're going to see if Nathaniel can pull up the replay here. But nevertheless, while we wait, Peyton Young has this one teed up, and Cruz Washington, his older brother, is in attendance tonight. His older brother is actually part of a rap group that was just recently signed by Empire Records. And Jalen Washington is a very aspiring young talent in the rap genre of music, and very, very fortunate for him that he got signed to that record company right there. That ball's jumped on.
Kollin, let's take a look at this replay from the last touchdown.
And yeah, looking at it right here, Joe Hendricks went in motion out to the far side. They've got 3 receivers lined up to the left. That's Luke Kernodle, Joe Hendricks, and then Kernodle goes in motion to the right side. That, once again, the guard kick out by Sam Wilkinson, number 56. Cruz Washington, once again, using his speed to split the defense. Gets up the middle of the field.
Now we've seen on these kickoffs they've had to hold the ball down because of this wind, and it's been affecting PY's kicking. Obviously, he did have that touchback earlier, but there've been a lot of low kicks for him.
Oh, and right there, Hunter Chadwick with the keeper, and he is swallowed by the front seven of Western Boone. Luke Marsh able to get in there on the stop along with Patrick Schallenberger and Peyton Young.
Yeah, you had most of the defense didn't go for the fake, except for they had one guy on the defensive front, Holdorf, but everyone else sniffed the play out, and they were able to get a stop, a short gain.
Right there, this defensive line obviously going with the more speedy type. They've got Caleb Freeman in there at the nose tackle, Dietz Holdorf to the right side, and then they got Patrick Schallenberger on the other defensive end. Andrew McAtee is down on the line of scrimmage. They're going to bring him down. Danville getting some more scores. Danville up 62-0 on Frankfurt.
Danville's the team we play next week.
Hand off to Giles, and right there, Andrew McAtee stands him up in the backfield and body slams him to the ground.
Man, Giles hadn't had a whole lot of touches this half, but on that touch he was stopped for a short gain. Makes you wonder if Southmont wants to keep going to this man on the ground.
Andrew McAtee, the transfer student from Manchester High School, and the Western Boone family has accepted him into this. And looking at some more scores, Lebanon up 40-13. Crawfordsville scores yet again on the Tigers. I'm thinking the JV unit's in for that one. What do you think, Nathaniel?
Yeah, most likely. It's pretty safe to say that.
Once again, we'd like to give a big shout-out to Smith Show Pigs and the Plunkett family. Thank you for supporting Western Boone football broadcast. Out on the outside run is Chadwick. Chadwick fires across field, and that one is batted away. Oh, and it looks like there's going to be a pass interference call. That flag flew in right at the end of the play as the ball fell incomplete.
Another penalty. Look at that.
And I'm going to find out what this one is. It might.
Now, these penalties, obviously, if we're up so much, then they're not going to worry too much about each game.
Yeah.
But once you start rounding into these state playoffs and you're going to be playing some good teams, you don't want to be committing these costly penalties.
Yeah, they do call this one on Western Boone. There was 4 guys back for Western Boone in the coverage, and that's a big loss of yardage if you're the Western Boone defense, and a big gain for Southmont. They catch a big break. Maybe that'll spark something for their offense to get going. The run game has been shut down right here in the second half, and in the first half it was able to get going.
Yeah, that was the story of the game, is this adjustment from Western Boone's defense. They're able to keep the game in control for their offense, put their offense on the field for more than they were last half.
Well, I first didn't know how that locker room is when Travis Brunes is very upset with the way the defense performs, and I'm sure that this team, that he always knows how to make the right adjustment, though. He makes the right call on defense. He does a lot of his homework. Stays up very late at night, up till about 4 in the morning. And right there, Peyton Weiniger on the run, tackled by Schallenberger from the back. Schallenberger's been able to chase down tackles, but going back to Travis Brunes, defensive coordinator, he's one of the longest employed coaches on this football team, and he's been around for a very long time. He was a player in the Western Boone system, and he's just spent a lot of time focusing on his craft of being a coach. And he definitely puts in a lot of work and a lot of heart to this defense that he just really loves. And he loves being around the guys. He loves getting to know them. And he's always been there for everybody.
4 in the morning. You must know a lot about him. You guys must be related, huh?
Right here, Hunter Chadwick on the toss to Giles. And Giles is swung down in the backfield. Connor Hull and Devin Weekly to make the stop. That's a big loss in the play. Logan Smith was actually the runner on the carry, and nowhere going for him. That run defense has stepped up here for the Western Boone defense.
We've been calling those 2 names, Hull and Weekly, pretty much all game, with the 2 of them that are getting most of the stops.
They've just been eating up tackles left and right.
These 2 play well off each other. You know, you got Hull at the free safety position. You've got Weekly sitting there, middle linebacker, and they're just 2 of the quickest guys on defense. They got the best noses for the ball and the very smart defensive players for this team.
Right here, Chadwick back to pass, and it's caught, and it's dropped, and they're going to rule that incomplete. Well, Peyton Weiniger right there with the reception, but he dropped it, and he was hammered by one of the Western Boone defenders.
Yeah, it was a great play by the Western Boone defender. Gets the ball rolling on the ground.
Wow, just this short game has been covered up well by the defense of Western Boone. They went with a bigger set on the defensive line with Michael Rice, the guard, on offense, and now they're going back to a little bit of a speedier front seven. It's the punt formation. Looking at the instant replay here, looking to see what happened. The defensive line was showing pressure all the way. They dropped Brett Wethington to bring the rush. And right there,
tipped at the play.
Andrew McAtee was there to spear the defender and make that pass fall incomplete on the tackle. Once again, the Manchester transfer getting it done here on the outside linebacker position. He's a solid outside linebacker coached by Ryan Baird.
Yeah, looking at that play, it did make some sense to have that incomplete pass because he had possession, but he didn't make a football move, as they say. He didn't get the couple steps in, and he dropped the ball before he was able to make any kind of move.
Yeah, unfortunately. And once again, another tough break. And the offense of Western Boone back on the field. Joe Hendricks in motion right here. They get the snap off. Washington's going to bounce it to the outside. There goes Washington up the middle of the field. He's got nothing but daylight in front of him. Across the 30, the 20, the 10. Touchdown, Cruz Washington. Wow.
Holy cow, Kollin. How many times have we called his name tonight?
4 touchdowns for Cruz Washington, the Lebanon transfer again. Just streaking to the end zone. You're going to have to call all the dogs to catch him.
So, coming into the game, Washington had 5 total touchdowns on the ground this season. He led his team. He's almost eclipsed that. He's almost doubled that total right now at 9.
Unbelievable. He had 5 touchdowns coming into this game. He missed last week. Now his touchdown totals up to 9 in one game. Cruz Washington has just been dominating. That makes this score 40-7. Western Boone just insane. Right here looking at the play, how it happened. Washington bounced to the outside. He had a lot of blockers in front of him. Good block thrown there.
Slides by that one guy.
Slides by the defender.
19
and
white cotton.
Just nothing but green out in front of him.
And once again, he gets the end zone. Defender's on the 10-yard line. He's just 10 yards faster than everyone else on this defense.
It's unbelievable. Unbelievable run by Washington. He's just been a crazy athlete for this team. And I think the wind's carrying him a little bit. I mean, he's just flying at this point.
Yeah, and he's not your typical little scat back, little 5'7" kind of guy. He's able to run between the tackles as well. He's having a nice season, a nice game so far, as he's listed at 5'9", 190 pounds, so he's big enough to go between the tackles, and he's also got the speed to bounce to the outside.
This whole Western Boone team, their rushing totals, 1,452 yards on 209 carries, average 6.9 yards per carry. 242 rush yards per game. And getting some more scores around the conference, Tri-West took the lead over North Montgomery 16-12 in the fourth quarter with about 12 minutes to go.
That ball bounced out of bounds, so penalty is going to be accepted. Bring the ball up.
And wow, just a one-play drive from Western Boone. The offense has been taking a lot of rest on the sideline. Washington just looking to get the offense off the field, get the defense back on.
Yeah, you got to think this defense is a little upset.
Yeah.
I mean, they put up some points, but they need a break.
I think this defense is a little tired. Kind of tired of Washington just running to the end zone every chance he gets.
Yeah, no kidding.
And right here,
we got him open.
Chadwick is going to pass, and it's complete. They get it out to Nathan France on the sideline. He gets across the 50, down to the 45. Blown coverage by the Stars defense. And he just slipped by the defense. He's wide open right there. Unbelievable.
Yeah, that was a great play.
Wow. He was finally speared by number 32. That's Josh Benson. Josh Benson doing well. Great job tackling tonight for this football team. He leads the team in sacks with 3. Right here, Chadwick. And that run goes nowhere. That got caught mid-handoff by the Western Boone defense. Giles tried to take it, and Schallenberger was in the backfield along with Caleb Freeman and Dietz Holdorf. The 3 front guys getting great penetration up front. And once again, one more shout out here. I'm going to give a shout out to Home National Bank for sponsoring our scoreboard, the Plunkett family for contributing to Western Boone football broadcast, and Smith Show Pigs. Thank you for supporting Western Boone football broadcast here on WBTV Sports. And Western Boone up 40-7, 3:36 to go in the fourth quarter. A handoff to Giles right up the middle. Dietz Holdorf there with the tackle. It's a gain of about 4 on the play. That ball gets across to the 47-yard line. It's going to bring up 3rd down and long. And Nathaniel, with these football broadcasts, is a new thing that started here at Western Boone. It's kind of beefed up over the last couple of years. I didn't really get into play-by-play until my sophomore year, and I've been doing it for a while. And it's nearly intercepted right there. Hunter Chadwick was laid out by Devin Weegley on the throw, totally exposed from the blind side.
Yeah, 22 Winings are a little slow to get up, but he appears to be all right now.
It's fortunate for Chadwick that wasn't intercepted. There's 3 defenders in the area. That's going to bring up 4th down and 11. But as I was saying, with these football broadcasts, Mr. Foxworthy of the radio TV program has definitely spent a lot of money and a lot of time trying to build this up. And he's done a great job. He's provided us with a lot of equipment, a lot of new stuff that we never thought we'd see before. Do you think that really helps out kind of the athletic program in general?
Well, I think definitely it also helps out the fans that now they don't have to go searching around for radio broadcasts every week. They've got hopefully more reliable coming in here the next few weeks to watch some of these games.
And that ball finally drops down at about the 29-yard line. They're going to spot it there at the 29. And Western Boone's going to take over yet again, and let's see how many plays this drive lasts. And Cruz Washington's really cut those numbers short with his running.
Final score right now for the Lebanon Crawfordsville game. Lebanon just won 40-13. Lebanon's keeping pace with us, Western Boone, here in the conference matchup.
Yeah, that conference championship is definitely going to be an interesting battle for Western Boone right now, though, in the driver's seat. Washington's going to take the handoff again. Tough running for Washington. Gets up the middle of the defense, and right there, that play didn't go for anything huge. And actually, that on that carry was Dylan Brown. Washington is on the sideline. Looked like Cruz Washington. Both wear black arm sleeves. And, Dylan Brown finally getting some touches here on offense. Dylan Brown's been a great, reliable backup running back. He's played running back all throughout his junior years, and then they're going through junior high and then going up into the varsity level. He's been a great running back. Joe Hendricks with the reception across the 50-yard line. Big gain on the play, 1st down. Oh, and it looks like he's down on the field. We're gonna take a timeout here. This is Western Boone football here on WBTV.
Moving into the season with JL Woodscapes. This woodworking/landscaping company is looking to improve your outdoor living space with products such as pergolas, decks, arbors, pavilions, and more. JL Woodscapes is a top-rated elite service on Home Advisor. You can go to the website, jlwoodscapes.com, or contact owner Chris Sides at sides.chris@jlwoodscapes.com. Chris can also be reached on his cell phone at 317-217-9360.
Well, back here at Western Boone High School, Joe Hendricks is being looked at by the training staff. Sure, he's all right. Got a substitute in for him. Spencer Wright here in the pistol formation. Takes the snap, handoff to up the middle to Dylan Brown. Actually, no, Wright keeps it. Oh, wow, good fake by Spencer Wright to get across the 20. Oh, he's breaking into the end zone. He's gone. Touchdown, Spencer Wright. What a play
that
fake.
Came out of nowhere. Even us in the booth were afraid of
some trickery. Spencer Wright reaching into his hat of tricks, and he just took that football and took off.
Yeah, there's yet another rushing touchdown for him on the season.
Unbelievable.
As this is his 4th on the year. Great play. Everybody saw the fake. Or they felt the fake, excuse me.
Yeah, he's been very efficient this game. Wow, just unbelievable. He's been efficient throughout the whole season. 12 touchdown passes, just 2 interceptions. Over 66 completion percentage. He averages 15.8 yards per completion, but on runs he averages 4.8 yards per carry. His longest run's 22 yards, and right there that just broke it. Looking at this replay here, wow, Spencer Wright right there at the 47-yard line. Wright takes it to the house from 47 yards out.
He was looking to pass.
Sold the play fake, broke a couple of tackles. He shook off the one tackle right there, and then he was just snagged down in the end zone. That breaks his total for the longest run of the season by him. His previous longest run was 22 yards. That now stands at 47.
That was a very impressive play by Wright. You saw he rolled to the left after the play fake, and he was looking for a pass downfield. He didn't see very much there, so he took off. It was a good call as he gets a huge run for a touchdown. Quarterback keeper.
Unbelievable. 47-7 score with 1:33 to go in the third quarter. Unbelievable run by Spencer. Wow, he sold that play fake well. He even had us fooled up here. Looked like Dylan Brown. Dylan Brown did a good job of selling the play fake. Credit to him. He acted like a runner with the football. He drew the Southmont defense towards him, and then Spencer Wright just kind of floated off to the left side with the football, and then he showed it, and then he just decided to take off and run. Spencer is definitely a dual-threat quarterback. He's got a great arm.
Dropped.
And right there, yeah, that was dropped. And on the return, oh, wow, blown coverage here by number 24, Dylan Lau. Wow.
Man,
a lot of crazy things happening.
That could have been bad for Western Boone. Now they're able to stop him.
And Nathaniel, you remember the time we were at Plainfield High School calling a game, and we were talking about crazy events happening just when you bring them up.
Yeah, against Mooresville.
It was interesting. It was Plainfield versus Mooresville, and it was funny because I talked about how Plainfield had just scored with like 1 second left to go until halftime, and I said, unless something crazy happens here, it could be a tie ball game.
And sure enough, come out of nowhere is a big, huge kick return from Mooresville.
Sure enough, a big kick return of about 98 yards. And right here, the outside Peyton. That's a big loss of 3 yards on the play. Connor Hole in there on the tackle. Peyton Weiniger with the run. He was tackled down.
That did happen a couple more times throughout the game. Obviously not going to be kick returns, but there were some interceptions and different stuff that we called that said, unless something crazy happens, and then out of nowhere, the very next play is a huge pick six was one of them, and just different stuff like that. We jinxed the Plainfield offense on their way to losing the game.
Yeah, it was definitely a crazy sequence. We got 46 seconds to go until the third quarter is over. Going into the fourth, Western Boone leading 47-7 back out on defense. Southmont going, and they're going to take a timeout. And wow, so Southmont's going to take a timeout here. We're going to take one as well. You're listening to WBTV Sports High School Football.
Thursday, October 9th, join the Philanthropic Educational Organization for a night of fun and fundraising. From 6 and 9 p.m. at the Stone Creek Lodge in Crawfordsville, PEO will be hosting their inaugural beer and wine event featuring products from local vendors. There will also be a silent auction. All proceeds will go towards providing educational opportunities for women. For ticket information, check out the event section on our Facebook page, facebook.com/peo.ec, or call 765-230-7233.
Hungry? Bob's Concessions sells food such as Polish and Italian sausage, tenderloins, hamburgers, hot dogs, fries, and more. You can find Bob Campbell and his delicious food truck at events such as fairs, carnivals, and festivals. For more information, call 317-850-6491.
And well, back here with more action in the third quarter, about 36 seconds to go until the third quarter is over. This defense has really cleaned things up, especially in terms of the rushing attack for Southmont. They were able to shut that up real quick. After the whole first half, they were just dominated on the front seven. Defensive line, they just could not get any penetration in the backfield, but 2 turnovers helped them out. They got their first score off a fumble return for a touchdown by Dietz Holdorf right here. Giles with the carry to the outside of the right, and Schallenberger is there to bring him down. Dietz Holdorf is there to finish him off along with Luke Marsh. And well, Nathaniel, what kind of adjustments have you seen so far from the Western Boone defense to stop the run?
Well, so far in the game, the first half, they did a great job rushing to the ball. They had a lot of people on the ball. And now the big difference that they're getting penetration in the backfield and they're able to stop. And this guy, Giles, he's been able to get a lot of yards after the contact. And Western Boone's been able to stop that. They've been able to stop him from getting anything after initial contact, and been able to stop him. However, go ahead.
I can tell it's a big difference. The fourth quarter is now looming around. The final seconds just ticked off the clock here, so that's why everybody's retreating to their sideline. It's the end of the third quarter. We're going to take a short break here, though. We'll be back with more here on WBTV Sports.
To survive a night at Indiana Fear Farm.
It was awesome.
Scary. Very, very scary.
We traveled an hour and a half to come to it.
Come see what's new in our spectacular haunted hayride stunt show and scream your way through our blood-curdling slaughter bar.
Don't touch me. It was so cool. I peed my pants.
It was fantastic.
I had fun. The worst part was that when you had
If you want fear, if you want fun, get it all for one low price at Indiana Fear Farm. Opening weekend, September 28th, 29th, and 30th. Go to IndianaFearFarm.com now for instant coupon. Indiana Fear Farm in Jamestown. Come out here for farm fresh fear.
oh my God. Scary.
IndianaFearFarm.com.
If you didn't get it from there, Indiana Fear Farm, they're opening tonight. They actually open at 7 o'clock at the beginning of this game. They're going to be open till, I believe, midnight. So after the game, if you live close, you ought to check out the Indiana Fear Farm.
Indiana Fear Farm is probably one of the scariest places I've ever been to, especially the slaughter barn. Nathaniel, I know you work there. Oh, and right there, nearly intercepted by Dietz Holdorf. Wow. Almost had a pick six right there for Holdorf. He had nothing but wide open grass in front of him. Man, I bet he's really wishing he could have that one back.
Uh-huh. But, I mean, honestly, he got his fumble recovery for a touchdown earlier. What more can you do in a game?
I mean, you're right. It's definitely something to be proud of. I mean, you've already put on a great performance here so far. 47-7. The first touchdown of the game came off of Dietz Holdorf and the run back off a fumble recovery. Southmont's going to be forced to punt here. Defense holds them. Yet again, they have not even been to this point. Oh, and it's a low snap, and this one is covered up by the punter. Stanley jumped on it, and Dietz Holdorf was back there to tap him and drop him at about the 25-yard line.
Yeah, he wanted that catch, and maybe it wouldn't have made a whole lot of difference since now they were able to stop him in the backfield anyway.
And Patrick Schallenberger is going to transition to the offensive side of the ball. You just see him pumping his fists right there. Go check in at receiver. And also in the game, number 61, that is Joshua Fennell, who's also a senior. Doesn't get a lot of playing time, but he is a really great contributor to this football team. All right, here, Dylan Brown with the run up the right side hole. And he gets a big gain on the play. That's going to bring up second down. Great running by Dylan Brown.
Yeah, throughout the year, we've seen a lot of Wethington's lined up at the running back position, contributed a lot too. But Brown, here George, usually the third or fourth quarter, they rush him up the middle time after time, just the same play over and over, and he usually gets him a good 20 or 30 yards just consecutive. So keep an eye on that.
Yeah, Dylan Brown's nickname also for this team, Downtown Dylan Brown. And I would assume that is attributed to his running style. And just right up here, he gets another carry, and Downtown Brown is slung down. Just after a gain of about a couple of yards on the play, it's going to bring up third down. Short run for Brown. With 11:05 to go in the fourth quarter until the football game is over, 47-7 score. Western Boone still leading.
Yeah, there's another consecutive play by Brown who just runs it right up the middle, up the right side as he did the last play before that.
And it's once again, Brown is still in the backfield. They're going with this heavy formation that Coach Pelly likes to run. They go to the left side here, and Brown's slung down by number 23. That is Logan Binge, and they're going to call this a first down.
Yeah, better look out for number 20 again with a rush up the middle after this first down call.
Yeah, wow, just great running from Dylan Brown so far in this game. He's come in to replace Washington, who has 4 touchdowns on the night. I mean, if you think about it, he could have had 5 if he didn't get that one called back. And right here, Brown with the handoff to the left side up the middle of the defense. Short gain on the play, pick up about 5 yards. It's going to bring up second down. And Finch, interesting story. You know, this group of guys have really molded together well. And tradition they like to do after each football win on Friday night is go to the locker room, take all the pads off, and turn on some John Denver and sing Country Roads Take Me Home. And it's a tradition that's just now started here at Western Boone for the football team. And right there, Dylan Brown up the middle of the field, and he nearly gets to the end zone. He's down inside the 5-yard line, looks to be about the 2-yard line. He's close to the goal line again. Dylan Brown's going to be down about the 3. He's tackled by number 22, Peyton Weiniger.
How many rushes that up the middle? Is it about 6 in a row now? They do this every game, and it works. I mean, you think they'd be able to stop him, but they don't. They just rush downtown right up the middle, and it's been working out so far.
It's been a hard time for the Southmont defense to try and stop the run game, and right here they go
Brown
back
to
to
the
the
left
full
side,
house
probably.
set.
Sure
And
enough,
here they give
left
it to Dylan
side.
Brown again, and Brown is in the end zone. Touchdown, Western Boone, to put it over the half-century mark.
Didn't I call that one? Look at that. I said
Wow.
Brown right up the middle to the left side, and sure enough, there he goes.
And yeah, that once again, just another big Western Boone pouring it on now, even with their second unit in. The fireworks are still going off here on homecoming night. I'd say it's a pretty successful homecoming for Western Boone. It's been a very great week. And looking at some more scores from around the conference, number 16, the final is 16 for Tri-West and North Montgomery 12. So Tri-West is able to pull one out and get the win. Oh, and the ball is mishandled, and it's recovered by Tyson Bashong. So that PAT is no good. 53-7, scored 9:16 to go. We're going to take a short break here after this replay. Looking at the touchdown run here. Jaron ready to pull up an ad after the replay. See Kernodle in
Brown
motion. It's a
at the
triple
middle,
option offense.
barely touched, right in the end zone.
And that style of offense, Pelly adopted when he first came here. And we're going to talk about that after we go to the ad. So once again, thank you for listening to WBTV Football here on WBTV.
Children is a local nonprofit that works to provide much-needed help to orphaned, abandoned, and impoverished children. Their mission is to support these children through financial contributions, donations of various supplies, prayer commitments, mission trips, and much more. For more information or to make a donation, please visit hopeforhischildren.org or contact founder Michelle Timmons at 317-989-2406.
They're throwing t-shirts to the crowd right now, and there's a couple of them that bounced up between multiple people's hands. That kind of sucks for the crowd.
And anyway, talking about that style of offense right here, the chip shot from Peyton Young is picked up by Bashong. Bashong is still corralled before he can go anywhere. He gets across the 20, about the 25-yard line, forward progress before he's pushed back.
I do see some JV players in for kickoff. I saw Garrity there, Connor Garrity, number 85, the receiver. Also number 82, Christner. I saw number 30, Caleb Iron.
And 67 is
So the
also in
varsity
there.
will
That
stay
is
on the
Bright. That is former linebacker Bryce Koppick's little brother Andrew Koppick. And Bryce Koppick was one of the best linebackers on the team last season. Contributed to that sectional championship run.
He is in
Now his
attendance
younger
tonight.
brother.
He's about
His younger
4 or
brother
5
is in
rows
there.
in front of us.
Yeah. And he's here tonight. So there's a lot of former Weibo alumni here at tonight's attendance.
Including last year's homecoming queen, as they had, if you saw at halftime. Final score for the Cecina game, number 3 Cecina just upset number 2 Triton Central 20-0. Will likely move them up to number 2 in the rankings for 2A.
Wow, number 27 on the run there. Just see who it was. Nathaniel, could you point out who the running back was for me? I couldn't quite see who it was. That was actually Marquise Burks, number 87. He's a senior running back up to Giles. Good running for Marquise Burks. He's able to pick up the first down on the play.
There's 8 minutes and 50 seconds left in the game.
Webo front seven still looking to stop the run here. They still got their starting defense out there. They bring Brett Wethington down from his middle linebacker position to get in on the defensive line. They go with a four-man front, and that run's not going to go anywhere. That defense is all over it. Giles was the running back to take it, and Brett Wethington was in the backfield along with Dietz Holdorf and Michael Rice, the big defensive lineman. Andrew McAtee in there as well. With Josh Benson on the other side.
Yeah, here's just another example. All game, all season, really the last few years, we've seen this defense that these coaches have assembled. They've been able to get to the ball and swarm the ball. Have 8, 9, and even 10 guys swarming to it a lot of the times.
And really, this offense of Southmont's very similar to a style of offense that head coach Justin Pelly of the Webo Stars likes to run. The way the offense works is you have two wings on each side, one on either side. You got the quarterback, and then you got your fullback behind, and it's basically a triple option play. You bring in motion one wing from the other side to the other, and basically you choose to hand it off up the middle. Just, you just go ahead and keep it yourself, run it up the middle right there. Southmont's been able to utilize it well. They utilized it very well in the first half, but right now it's just been shut down up to this point. Right here, the toss towards the outside, and that one is going to go nowhere. Devin Weekly down there to cut him down before he can do any more damage. On the run, Jake Whitecotton.
There on the sideline, number 44, Blake Coley, the JV quarterbacks, getting warmed up.
Yeah, I assume we'll probably see a little bit more of Cully coming into this one. Cully wears number 44. Not really sure why he wears the number 44 as a quarterback. Have to ask him about that sometime. Not sure if it's just because that was the only number available for him. Blake Cully's also a transfer student. He's an underclassman. Not sure where he's from. He's a sophomore. Kind of just showed up out of nowhere, and right there this punt finally gets away, and this one's going to be fair, caught by Peyton Young. Peyton Young dives on it inside the 20-yard line, so Western Boone will take over 1st and 10 inside their own 20-yard line. And PY's a little frustrated. He can't have that one back. He tried to get a good return going, try to one-hand it, but
JV is taking the field, led by 44 Coley, as we mentioned, the sophomore quarterback.
So, yeah, looking at the offense for the JV team, we got 44 Blake Cully in at running back, and number 41, Robbie Taylor. Robbie Taylor is somebody you need to look out for. He's a sophomore running back. He is the second leading rusher on the team with 139 yards. He averages 8.4 yards per carry, man in motion to the outside. And that is number 35 on the run, Jaden Bailey. Bailey there with a nice run, and he's tackled down hard, but not before he can pick up a big gain of about 6 yards on the play.
Yeah, as you were talking about Robbie Taylor, he usually doesn't play much with the varsity, but they throw him in there when the JV comes out, which so far this year has been a lot because of our commanding leads. He's coming out and just produced. I mean,
Robbie Taylor is one of those old-style running backs. You give it to him up the middle, and he's just going to act like a truck up the middle. He averages 48.3 yards per game. As long as runs 28 yards, he has 2 touchdowns on the year. Right here they go pistol formation. Hand off to Mitch Miller on the right side. And right there, Miller is slung down. Number 55, Riley Woodall.
Yeah, Taylor here, when they put the JV in, they usually just run the ball, whether it's Coley with the keepers, the option plays, or they just hand it off to Taylor right up the middle. But Taylor's been very efficient with the carries he's had. As you said, he's the second leading rusher on the team, and he plays for the JV mostly. Very impressive.
Yeah, he's very impressive JV running back. He a very tough guy, very strong. I mean, looking at his build, he's just a big guy all around. Those legs will just keep churning. He just keeps trying to get yards any way he can. And right here, Robbie Taylor does get the handoff. And like we talked about, that truck mentality, Robbie Taylor inching close to the first down marker. Nobody really able to stop him. He's finally tackled by number 23, Logan Benge.
Taylor's standing at 5'6", 180 pounds, but he is able to turn on some speed a lot. When you get him in open space, he's able to put on the jets. Not quite like Cruz Washington, but he's able to beat a lot of the defensive players he's been able to the past couple weeks.
It's going to bring up a 4th down and 1 for the JV unit for the Stars. The varsity, looks like the varsity defense still out there for Southmont with a few JV players sprinkled in there. A few of the younger guys getting experience. They have 15 seniors on the roster, so it's nice to get their younger guys some more experience. Kollin right here with a snap, and they give it straight ahead once again. Looks like Robbie Taylor on the carry yet again. Yes, Taylor. Let's see where they're going to spot the ball. Oh, and it looks like they're not going to give them the first down, unfortunately. Wow, so 4 and out for the offense on the JV unit.
The crowd wasn't very happy with that call, as it appears that he might have gotten the first down, but the final judgment goes to the refs. This will set up Southmont in Western Boone's territory. Timeout will be called.
Yeah, they're going to take a timeout here, so we're going to take one as well. So we can key up and add here. You're listening to WBTV football here on WBTV Sports.
Have you ever wondered if you could drive a school bus? Wouldn't it be nice to work when your kids are in school?
Western Boone is currently accepting applications, allowing us to train you one-on-one for this exciting opportunity. For more information, visit our website at weboschools.org/employment. Exciting opportunity.
Come on, take the wheel. Join a great team in a rewarding job.
We are back here after that timeout. Timeout's still going on right now, but watching right now, number 1 ranked in 2A, Western Boone leading 53-7. As we mentioned earlier, number 3 ranked Cecina took out number 2 Triton Central 20-0. And right now in the fourth quarter, number 4 ranked in 2A, Tipton is leading 48-0 over Hamilton Heights in the fourth quarter. So the top few teams are definitely producing so far in the 2A conference.
Right here, new unit in for the offense. The JV defense is out on the field for the Stars. And Marquise Burks with the carry again. And a new quarterback is under center for Southmont's number 18. He's an unlisted player on the roster. So that's set back for no gain on the play. It was tackled by number 85, Connor Garrity. Connor Garrity, very impressive JV player. Finch, we saw him last week against Frankfurt in the JV game, and he basically went for the cycle. He had a special teams touchdown, defensive touchdown, and an offensive touchdown.
2 offensive touchdowns. He had 4 total.
That's right.
And 2 interceptions.
And right here, the JV defense just all over it. Connor Garrity right there for the tackle on the quarterback for Southmont.
Yeah, very impressive young man so far. He's going to have a bright future with this varsity team here in the next couple of years.
And the quarterback,
Connor Garrity is a starting caliber player for this team. They just have so many upperclassmen that produce just as well on this defense.
We're under 3 minutes here in the fourth quarter at the 2:50 mark. This one's pretty much wrapped up well. 53-7 score. Not really much getting back into this one, especially with the JV unit out there on the field. And the quarterback out there is a freshman, I believe, for Southmont. And the toss outside. The running back and the JV unit's all over it. A few tackles on there. That's number 61, Josh Fennell. And number 46 out there, Logan Black as well. So Isaiah McMaster, I believe, was a running back for Southmont.
Yeah, there's just over 2 minutes left in the game, Kollin. And I think we can put this one in Western Boone's favor. Moving them 7-0 so far in the season. Very great start for this team. Even better than the start when they last won conference in 2015.
Yeah, and I mean, it was the first time I was a part of that 2015 conference championship team, and we had a great group of guys. We had a great leader at quarterback, Nathaniel. He's a very strong arm player. He's mentally tough. And we also had a very tenacious defender on the other side of the football, Logan Marsh, who provided the spark that we all needed to just rally together and pursue that conference title. It's the first one that Western Boone has won outright since 1998. I mean, we've had to share conference titles with everybody else in our conference because of similar records. It seems like everybody else is just as good as we are, throughout the course of the season, every season. But this week, I mean, this just shows that what kind of a different animal that we're dealing with here with this new Western Boone team.
Yeah, and Kollin, you described the quarterback and that defensive star for Western Boone that 2015 season. Is it just me, or did it sound like you described perfectly Spencer Wright and Devin Weekley?
Exactly. I mean, Weekley is a very soft-spoken guy. I mean, he speaks up when he needs to, and he has the heart of a leader. He really does. He's a great character all around. Wright, great character, is very soft-spoken as well. And with a minute left ticking off the clock, this one's going to be kneeled down. Potentially it's going to be second down. Yeah, it looks like they're going to... Yep, they do kneel it down, so Kollin kneels it down. 45 seconds left to go in the football game. This one's just going to tick off the clock.
Luckily, one more kneel down until the end of the game.
Yeah, looks like the play clock is just 1 second ahead of the actual game clock, so we're going to get another kneel down here by Kollin. Snap and the kneel, and Kollin gets on one knee. And still talking about that 2015 conference championship team. I mean, Logan Marsh was one of the best players ever to come through Western Boone and the Western Boone football program. And right here, Western Boone, the #1 team in 2A, keeps their undefeated season alive. They move on to 7-0.
Yeah, they beat a very hard-nosed football team in Southmont by over 40 points, 53-7. Very impressive win as we head down to Danville next week.
And this defense has only given up 33 points through 7 games. I mean, that is just
That's
a
championship
stat.
caliber.
That's a stat to just, not like widen your eyeballs at. That's just unbelievable.
And they're not just close games. This offense is producing very prolific numbers as well.
Means this defense gives up about 4 points a game. It's an unbelievable stat. They only had 26 throughout the first 6 weeks. And this defensive unit keeps getting it done. But don't think that Travis Brunes is going to let up on these guys easily. He's going to really grind on them for, their mistakes that they made tonight. And they made a lot in the first half.
Yeah, definitely. And that coming out of the half, you could see a huge difference from this defense. It's very impressive. Before we get into some more of this recap, don't forget before you click off to comment where you're listening from if you're out of state. Very interesting to see where all we're getting listeners from, as we already see we have someone commenting from Kansas City.
Yeah, it's nice to get this expansion, for more people to get a look at what it's like here at the Western Boone football program, led by head coach Justin Pelly, and his group is starting off on a very good note this season, 7-0, and in the driver's seat for the conference championship. And right here, you can hear it, John Denver being played at Western Boone Stadium right here, and all the guys obviously getting jittery, rushing to the sideline to sing their school song and then get into the locker room so they can jam out to some John Denver. And Nathaniel, it's just a great feeling to be able to, just have that sense of family within your football team. That's the thing that Western Boone likes to preach a lot, is family is everything. And being a family comes sacrifice and a lot of fighting, and just sometimes you can't stand each other. Other times, but other times it's just annoying. But other times, all the time you'll be there to pick up your brother when he's down.
Yeah, you see these guys, they do everything together. They walk the halls together. They're always, after practice, they go and hang out in the parking lot. As you mentioned, these guys are likely to go to some restaurant, maybe steak and shake together. They spend so much time together. They call themselves the brotherhood. And I know Thursday nights before the game, they watch a little bit of film. They have a walk-through practice.
The pasta dinners.
And then they have a pasta dinner together. They get together in the community room at Western Boone, and they eat together. They've got a couple seniors and a coach, I believe, who give some speech.
And one more thing, we'd like to thank the parents of all the Western Boone football team, and especially our parents. My mom, big shout out to her for allowing me to do these broadcasts. I wouldn't be here without her support. Nathaniel, I'm sure you wouldn't be here without a lot of support, especially from Mr. Foxworthy and your parents. I want to personally thank Mr. Foxworthy for allowing us to do these broadcasts and putting so much time and effort and money into building this up.
Yeah, he's got his faith that we're going to come through each week and produce and give these broadcasts for everyone, and we're very thankful that he's able to stick with us for that.
And, well, the MVP of this game, I'm definitely going to say Cruz Washington. 4 touchdowns on the ground tonight for him.
Yeah, and one of them got called back.
Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable. Look at some
Here
of the
you
replays
see
here. Yeah, the first
Holdorf.
score, Dietz Holdorf ran it back after the fumble recovery for a touchdown. And that put the first 7 on the board. And then the next touchdown came off of an interception by Cortez Stoudemire in the end zone, which converted into a Cruz Washington rushing touchdown. Again, that play again, this was his first touchdown run of the night. It's just unbelievable speed from Washington, just breaking through the defense, great blocking up front, and he was gone.
Yeah, and you mentioned that the wind was helping him. He was running with the wind. No, Kollin, he is the wind. This guy is 10 yards faster than everybody else on the team.
This is unbelievable, unbelievable. Another replay here. Washington again. This actually, I think, went to Logan Benson.
He's at the bottom of your screen on the right side. It does go up
It's actually
to
hand off to
Washington.
Washington, up the middle again, using his speed again just to get outside, and he was gone.
He's in the end zone. They're at the 5-yard line. 5 yards faster than everyone. It's crazy the speed he's been able to display for us.
Unbelievable, just unbelievable. And obviously, you know, it's just a crazy thing, man. Just the speed of Washington and the all-around offensive efficiency that they were able to put together right here. This is a great play. I love this play for 2 reasons. One, the great blocking up front by the offensive line.
Yeah, it was a poor camera angle.
And then just the ability to break the tackles. Cruz Washington shakes off every defender. He just races his way into the end zone just untouched from the line of scrimmage on. And then right here.
Another here. This is one from earlier when we had that defended pass that almost came away as a fumble.
And right here, yeah, just
Schellenberger almost.
McAtee laying the hammer down on the receiver. It's Peyton Weiniger.
Yeah, Weiniger did have a big game for his team. I know they only scored 7 points, but he was featured a lot together, going left and right, and even up the middle a few times.
And right here, another touchdown run by Cruz Washington
at the
again.
25-yard line.
Wow, Washington
all the way
untouched again. Just that defender just barely got one
yards.
hand on him. Took it to the house. Just unbelievable. Washington now with 9 total touchdowns on the season. He had 4 tonight. He missed last week. He picked up the slack. Just made sure that he had a statement game.
Another handoff to Washington. No, this one is the fake.
This one was, yeah, you got faked out again, Nathaniel. Right here, the trickery by Spencer Wright.
Gain.
Rolled out to the left side, shook a few tackles. And great blocking right there by the receiver on the side, just to allow Wright to get into the end zone. Another replay here. This was a touchdown run, I believe, from Dylan Brown.
The one that I called, excuse me. This is right up. Brown goes to the left side, right between the tackles. Barely touched as he gets in for a nice touchdown there.
Just unbelievable effort all around by this football team. And for tonight's broadcast, that's going to wrap it up for us. Final score 53-7. And Southmont here came into hostile territory. They looked like they were going to pose a threat. They did in the first half, but this one immediately got out of hand.
Yeah,
right after the first half was over. So with that, I'm Kollin Brunes alongside Nathaniel Finch. And that's all for tonight's broadcast of Western Boone football here on WBTV Sports.